This show is intended for adult audiences. You know, people with bills, backaches, responsibilities, and a functioning sense of humor. It contains strong language, stronger opinions, and the kind of jokes that might send the emotionally fragile into a full-blown meltdown. If you're easily offended, perpetually outraged, or think words are violence, this is your cue to clutch your pearls, grab a blankie, and sprint to your nearest safe space. Or, you know, just get in the sea. We won't miss you. For everyone else, buckle up and let's have some laughs.
Rated D for Dickhead.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
Nice tits.
A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros, Baghanaga hoogs, humongous hungalanga no no logangas.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people, and maybe say it's not a good thing.
I don't really care, Margaret.
Hello. I'm off. Basically, run.
What's going down, babes? Show me the loving.
Silence! You are too gay to be the doctor.
I'm wonderful, and I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
Exterminate!
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown.
Why are you running?
Let's take some dope.
I am like,
I have had hallucinations on weed before.
if I get that high,
Them babies, Alyssa. Disabilities. I wanted to finish Elden Ring, goddammit.
He's a piece of shit.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
the reason why DEI was put in place in the first place was incredibly disingenuous racism and sexism, people being discriminated against. This was put in place to try and
Disillusion young dudes.
white men or straight people. Someone's getting a job over them that doesn't deserve it. People are missing out on jobs that deserve it more than a person who's getting it because they're a woman or because they're black. These people are making a lot of money, print money, cash, money,
well,
capitalism. Raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news.
Engines roar through the ash gray skies. The wasteland burns, but hope won't die. Every screen's a twisted lie, built to break us, make us comply. They poison the heroes, rewrite the tales, turn legends to dust, leave us frail. But we're not done, we won't bow down. Through the wreckage, we'll take the crown. Steel hearts ignite, fire in our veins. Freedom's calling, breaking the chains.
Hello, everybody. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Hello to you, and welcome back once again to Will of the Fans. My name is Will. You know the drill, and it's drive time somewhere, which means it's hyperdrive time theoretically everywhere. So, ladies, gentlemen, and nothing in between, welcome back to another voyage of discovery, racing through the wastes of the internet to the further reaches of yours and my sanity on a never-ending quest to rid the universe of that old chestnut absolute bollocks.
What the hell is even that?
Indeed, straight out of hell. It's me, it's WILL. And before we start off, it's very important to ensure that you have your brains inside the vehicle at all times with your eyeballs firmly screwed to the screen, because we're going to be going through quite a lot of cringe today. Rather a lot of cringe that has been going on since the release of The War Between the Land and the Sea. Now, I know there's 2 episodes. No, I haven't bothered watching them. I'm doing it my own way. I want to do 1 episode at a time, give it my proper attention, or rather, I just can't be bothered to play the game of dancing to Disney and RTD's fucking rhythm. I will do things at my own damn pace. So we're going to do 1 episode at a time, and I'll review this one today, and I already did, and you may have seen the video, went out about 45 to 50 minutes ago. And then I will review the other one probably tomorrow, and then talk about it on HyperDrive Time on Wednesday as well. That way, everything gets the sort of attention that it needs. And in the meantime, there are a bunch of other more interesting topics that I'd like to talk about as well. So we'll get to them all in good time. Hope everybody's doing well, and it's nice to see you guys here already. Who's in the chat? Of course, we got Farsight already says War Between the Land and the Sea was utter shite. It wasn't true to the Silurians, the Sea Devils, or Malcolm Hulk's rating. That's true. Aside from being dead boring, it's a rehash of Children of Earth. Yeah, it is very Children of Earth. I don't think I even mentioned that in my review, but it is. It's just an RTD spin-off. You've seen this show before. No question. But yeah, it is. Apart from being just sort of winsfully cringe, it's not terribly made. As in, it's not like incompetently shot or edited or anything like that. There's a fair bit of like mechanical aptitude that was shown, I suppose. But basically, besides that, the entire content of it was more or less unbearable cringe. That's true, yeah. With a bit of Avatar thrown in as well, yeah. Which, of course, Avatar itself is extremely derivative of stories like Pocahontas or Fern Gully, which again, that is, that is very much like almost a Romeo and Juliet or dare I say Wet Side Story, which is what I've been calling this, and I'm sure that's where we're going, but we'll see. As I said, I've only seen the first episode yet, so you guys have got probably more spoilers than me, unless you did the smart thing and didn't bother watching it and just waited for me to review it, in which case you've come to the right place, because I'm going to go over it a little bit again for all of you guys. Suffice it to say, that's about all of it, really. That's the opinion that most people will have of The War Between the Land and the Sea. I've already heard about the 2nd episode and the Titanic, so no spoilers for anyone who actually cares, though I don't know what you're doing here if you do care about spoilers. Apparently, yeah, the Titanic will show up in New York. At last, only 100 years late, eh? But there we go. I'm thinking that this show, once again, will fail to move the needle for Disney, for the BBC, for RTD, for everyone involved, because it is it's a load of meh. I will say I didn't hate Russell Tovey in it, which shouldn't really come as a surprise to anyone, because he's a very unassuming actor who's playing a very unassuming part. It's kind of like he's like a less cantankerous Arthur Dent. He's like an apologetic, simpy Arthur Dent. That's basically what he's meant to be. It doesn't work. I would say Arthur Dent is 1,000 times better character, no question. But I guess at least you've got one guy who's going through this story that's like as perplexed as you are, as the viewer. The only problem with him is he lets everybody walk all fucking over him. Even his bitch of an ex-wife, and I mean bitch of an ex-wife. Like, she's a real top tier cuddle cow, that one. It is it's hard to deal with. But yeah, fair enough, Farsight, and shout out to you for being here. Appreciate you seeing the comments sometimes. Haven't seen you on the streams for a while, so it's nice to have you back. Lilith is here. Derek Smith is here. Hello, Rhoda is here, of course. Majors Guild is here. We'll get to you in a second, buddy. What else? Who else? It's mostly just Rhoda spam in the chat. Swedish Christian is here as well, but Fern Gully is better than what RTD makes. True story. It was better when I saw it as a kid in the cinema, and it's better now. No doubt about that. To be fair, Avatar is much, much better than the shit that RTD makes, and Avatar is completely forgettable. I honestly don't have much of an opinion on Avatar at all. Just, yeah, right, I see. Yeah, looks nice. Looks nice. What was that story again? I can't remember. Oh, God. I've forgotten everything about Avatar because I've been out of the cinema for 5 minutes. So imagine that, but with less character, less impact, less memorable characters. And there you go. Didn't Tennant crash land when Tennant was at the wheel? Didn't Titanic crash land? No, it's a different Titanic. That was the space Titanic. We're talking about the actual Titanic here, which has apparently been drudged up from the sea and dumped into the middle of New York in episode 2. But I haven't seen episode 2 yet. But I think that more or less will be the big moment that everyone will go, oh yeah, they did that. That was fucking cringe, wasn't it? And we'll all move on. I don't know. I will find out, I suppose. We've got 2 episodes this week because Disney and BBC don't have any confidence in the show. So they just shit it out 2 episodes at a time, like they did with Doctor Who series fucking 215 or 41, or indeed the second part of 114 or 40. And yeah, basically that's it, really. The show is meh, really, really fucking meh. And no doubt I'll talk about it ad nauseum for a while now before we get into the sort of topics and stuff. And then maybe me and the boys will have to talk about it tomorrow as well. Tomorrow and on Thursday. Fortunately for us, we do have enough shows and hours to stagger out the double bill of bleh that is the war between the land and the sea, aka Wet Side Story. And there you go. But the first episode, you know, again, I feel like exactly what I said would happen has happened, in as much as it doesn't make me like viciously and infuriatingly angry like Doctor Who did, because I don't care about this show, whereas I did care about Doctor Who. So it's not going to elicit the same rah kind of response from me that did, but it is still pretty bad overall. I think I gave it a 4 out of 10, the first episode, because 1 point for existing, 1 point for actually being streamable. Those are the absolute bare minimum that I can give you, that none of which goes to the creative team, but the people who actually produced it and actually distributed it to the public to be able to watch. And then the third point would be for Barclay himself not making me want to scratch my eyes out. And the fourth point, what was that for again? I can't remember at all. Whatever it was, but that's what I gave it anyway. We'll see how it goes. I've seen a lot of reviews on IMDb and a lot of reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. No, not Rotten Tomatoes. They don't have that yet. But on IMDb, people are giving it 7s and 8s. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, son? I don't think so, buddy. I think you're far too fucking generous and far too easy to please. But hey, that's me. I've become cynical and jaded in my years, especially as a YouTuber. So Smurfs at the beach, yeah, it's a bit like that, kind of, yeah. Anyway, there we go. Welcome to the show, guys. Appreciate you being here. If you're in the chat and you have something to say, please let me know. I'd like to answer it. So please feel free to tape it to a couple of bucks and lob it at my head. I will answer you if you do decide to. But also, besides that, if you're liking the stream, you know what to do. You got to hit the like button. I know, right? Sounds like a hell of a commitment. Actually, surprisingly easy.
Like
that's right.
The stream.
Indeed. And it's our Monday show, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. But I am very much appreciative of the people who are here already. We're live over on X as well, so some people are watching there. If you are watching on X, get over here on YouTube and come and join the chat. It's more fun, and we'll appreciate you coming that way. Anyway, that's what we're doing. We're going to have some fun. We're going to review this pants episode of nothing, and then we're going to talk all about the various problems, issues, and occasional good news from the world of pop culture and politics. That's indeed what we do here, so I hope you will enjoy it. Anyway, the first thing I will say about the war between the land and the sea that did piss me off was within about 3 minutes we have our first trans child. Yeah, so we're going there. Yeah. Anyway, after that, though, it seems like that was very much just lip service to virtue signaling, like not a true hardcore grift virtue signal like RTD normally does. So after that, it becomes more of a TV show and less of a soapbox, but it isn't completely over, and it does continue on. In the meantime, though, guys, if you are having fun, you'd like to enhance that fun, your in-flight entertainment can be unlocked by hitting the join button and joining the Griff Force. It keeps the ship in the skies, and if you got any questions, comments, or you just need to pull over for a second because it all gets too much for you, kindly tip your driver and I will give you my undivided attention, as has been obviously internalized already by Majors Guild for $2. He says, "Hey, black people." Where? No, just me here, mate. Just me. As far as I know. And there we go. It says Twibslats, which, by the way, is the abbreviation of the war between the land and the sea. So close to twats, isn't it? Isn't on Pirate Bay. Yes, that's right. The war between the land and the sea definitely is not on Pirate Bay. It is not. Definitely not. Anywhere near any website of ill repute. It definitely is not. You should 100% take what Majors Guild is saying here. Absolutely, totally at the letter of what he says. Completely true. There is no trace whatsoever. There definitely are not dozens and dozens and dozens of links to it on that particular website. Definitely not. Absolutely no idea what you're talking about, mate. Thank you. Beautiful. And okay, here we go. Rhoda's back for £2 of legitimate currency from an illegitimate bastard of a nation.
Every single person of, that's intelligent, hardworking, ambitious, had dreams and goals, has abandoned England in the last 200 years.
The true bloody story right there. And says RTD spin off, RTD can spin on. Jog on. Thank you very much, Rhoda. You are correct, of course, though I'd rather you use your finger than imply mine in any way, shape, or form if you have to. And if you're going to, I'd strongly recommend wearing some kind of rubber glove, or 2 or 3 maybe. You don't know what the hell's been up there before you. So there's that. St. Hugo was here gifting 1 for the Griff Force and for the princesses of the fans. We do appreciate that kind of thing around here, guys. So if you're so inclined, please do help us to fill the blue bar, as when it is full, it will be time for us to play Jackbox again. And that will be audience participation as we draw horrible pictures of people we don't like and some funny pictures of people we do like, actually, as it goes. But there you go, guys. 1 more for the Griff Force. Thank you very much, St. Hugo, for that. Very much appreciate it. It does help immensely. But there you go, guys. We've got a TV show to review. So let's take a look and see what the bloody hell is going on with this one. It's pretty cringe, I gotta be honest. Pretty bloody cringe. And Cookie Kaiju's in the chat. Hello to you as well, mate. Appreciate you coming along. Sound off. I'm streaming live on X as well at the moment, which is not something I do every day. I just thought I'd try it, see how it goes. But hey, shout out to the people on X, although you can't reply to me. Strongly recommend you just come to YouTube or Rumble. Actually, we're on Rumble too. But there you go. All right, let's just get into this shit, shall we? Because I've already done a complete review video, and like all my other review videos, it ended up becoming 40 minutes long. It's really annoying because that's about the same length as the actual episode. But there was a surprising amount to talk about. What we do have here, though, is the episode in question, of course, as I have prepared it. Now, as we pointed out before, Rhoda was right. It does just look blue, just an awful lot of grayish, bluish, grayish blue. And that is not really good. You got this pointlessly intense title as well, like The War Between the Land and the Sea. Okay, yeah, great. You've got a 8-word title for your TV show. Congratulations, you're an idiot. And not even a newish title either, because it turns out that there was another show that came out last year called The War Between. So you can't even just abbreviate it to that because no one would know what you're talking about. Regardless, doesn't matter anyway. We got water, we got ocean, we got Spanish fishing ship, and we got this cringe right here where you can actually see that there is a bottle, a Coke bottle or something, or a water bottle or whatever, that's semi-swallowed up some water and is currently sinking into the depths of the ocean. I guess maybe one of the sailors threw it out or something. I don't actually know. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep, there it is. He threw it. I wondered about that. He threw it in the ocean because he doesn't give a rat's, and there you go. That's us. That's us, the humans, guys. We're all scum. Filthy, dirty, ape, sapien bastards, all of us. We should all be slaughtered by the fishmen. Speaking of which, here comes one hanging out in this net, and yeah, he's going to come out and he's going to go at him like this, and it's like, okay. We've seen this before. We cut to, of course, as I've gone through it before, we cut to it with Russell Tovey here, who's shirtless, and it's clearly been working out a little bit because, you know, he's supposed to be in the in unit, although it turns out later that he's just a fucking desk pen pusher guy for unit and doesn't really know why he's been activated. We instantly walk in here as he introduces us to Kirby, his they them offspring, who he refers to later when introducing to this woman who, because he's been called in the last minute, he has to bring the kid with him. He goes, "Oh, this is Kirby. They're my child. They are my child." That's right.
What the hell is even that?
Good question, and one I do not have an answer for. I actually haven't got a clue. Apparently the actor who plays this is quite funny, actually, if you're a Zelda fan. The actor or actress or whatever it is that plays this this character of Kirby is in real life called Kat Ganon. Yeah, no shit, Ganon. Like, with two N's in the middle and one at the end, like the original Zelda with the misspelling of Ganon. His name, or it's or her name, I don't know. Looks to me like it was originally a biological female, but I could be wrong. Might be a boy, but I don't see an Adam's apple. So, you know, don't know. I guess I could look it up. Let's see if I can find out anything here. What does the AI say? Is this person trans? I mean, obviously they are, but which way? Kat Ganon, who is transgender, blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's an actress. Professional profile does not mention being transgender, but then plays a boy, a girl boy, I think, in the show. If anyone has an opinion on this, I'd love to hear what you think, because I really couldn't tell if this is meant to be you know, obviously it's not meant to be either male or female, but which one do you think? Which direction do you think the transing happened? It's a little difficult to tell. I think I'm kind of leaning more on probably female originally, but I don't know about that. It doesn't actually say anything about him being trans anywhere on the internet, but the character certainly is. So I haven't got a fucking clue. All I know is Russell T. Davies has done it again, given us a transgender child, something that is a crime in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. And this is now the second show Russell T. Davies has put in front of our fucking miserable faces in the last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, where he has turned a character trans who is supposed to be under the age of 16 and going to school. So there we go. It would be even worse, I suppose, if it was a younger kid, but it's pretty bad as it goes. Anyway, it really doesn't matter, because this whole time, the only thing you really learn about your boy here, Barclay, is that he's a complete and total bitch. He just apologizes to absolutely everyone. Everyone he meets, he apologizes to the kid. He apologizes to his ex-wife here, who, by the way, literally like the missing member of the fucking Black Panther cast. Okay, absolute bitch to him at all times. Literally speaks to him like a piece of shit at every available turn, and clearly left him and ran off with some other bloke who's not been in the show yet. And he just gets left there. I don't know if that's a fucking nicotine patch on her arm or whatever, but are they just allergic to having women who are in any way attractive in this show? Because this is about as close as you're going to get. And she's been made to look as conservative as possible, to the point of being barely even a fucking sexual being. So there's that. And once again, it's just, you know, hey, we're being dragged through. We don't know anything. Colin McFarlane shows up and he's doing his usual over-the-top American accent to play General Austin something or other. General Austin Pierce. This is a ridiculously macho name. You think it's a diabetes meds port? Oh, is that what it is? Interesting. Maybe that's where a human growth hormone's being injected. I don't know. In any case, I don't know how else the hell she got those fucking guns and why the hell he would be attracted to her enough to breed. But hey, I guess he was always a fucking simp. Anyway, there's something about the performance from Russell Tovey that I will say is the only thing I could tolerate about this episode. For some reason, he manages to be utterly useless as a character and constantly telling you about it. And for some reason, I don't hate him. It must be just a gift that Russell Tovey has or something, to be somehow able to turn this cringe into like tolerable dialogue, because you'd think like a guy as pathetic as Barclay would be detested by everybody, but for some reason he manages to get you on side with it a little bit. So fortunately, we do have a character whose portrayal is at least enough to let you know, you know what, we can get through quite a bit of this. Oh, it's a continuous glucose monitor. Okay, great. Why? Okay. Well, fair enough, I suppose. Anyway, so there we go. Anyway, this guy's there. He's a complete prat, considering that he outranks Barclay by several tiers of elite access. It turns out that your boy Barclay here is just the guy who does the logistics for unit. Like literally orders taxis, books lorries, that kind of thing. He is no one of any really. Oh, she has diabetes in real life. Oh, great. Okay. I don't know what to say about that, because I don't want to make a mockery of someone who has diabetes, but I also think, like, why'd you put that in the show? Oh, is that relevant? Okay. But anyway, you know, whatever. There might be a reason. Maybe it'll be the greatest reason ever. But considering I said maybe this will be the greatest show ever, not in any way in earnest, and it's turned out to be exactly what I expected. A shower of beige sludge, blue tinted sludge, I suppose I should say. But there we go. Anyway, so yeah, again, he's on this plane being flown out to this island off Spain or whatever. And the whole time he's telling people just how useless and ill-equipped he is. So this guy just snubs him and ignores him as they land. They get to the place. I've been through all this already in the review. It's about this point, though, that I realize that he's actually in like better shape than almost everybody else that he's around. He's never dressed properly either. He's always dressed in his civvies because he's a civilian, apparently. And yet he's in better condition than all these fucking squaddies. It's a bit strange, you know, especially considering that he's the one who's supposed to be singularly ill-equipped to be there in the first place, and that he's only there because of an accident where he's replaced a bloke called Roger. What was his fucking name? It sounds like Terrific or something, like Roger Terrific. Unfortunately, Mr. Terrific isn't available, so his understudy got sent the gig, and that is our boy Barclay, who apparently was only like his replacement and one other thing before that had nothing to do with any danger, and rank didn't matter, and he just stood in for him on some small scale, nothing of importance task. And for some reason, the incompetent unit system has now designated him as the replacement agent for Mr. Terrific. So that's it now. That is the reason that he is involved in this at all. And I find that to be not only incredibly contrived, but also of the level of incompetence that would endanger the entire planet if UNIT is really in charge of like global protection when the Doctor's not around, and they're that stupid to put a normal bloke in a situation like this. It can't be good. You know, I don't know if RTD's put any real thought into this, but whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They get to here where we see they've got this sea devil that's strung up that was shot by the sailors on the Spanish boat. He's dead. Everyone's just sort of talking about how they should be called Homo Aqua and not, in fact, you know, referred to as what they are, which is the sea devils. You know, 1 second. It seems that my video has crashed, so just gonna go ahead and try and nope, it's not responding. One moment, guys. I'm sorry. Gonna have to fucking do this again. Here we go. What a chore. Hold on. Let me get it back on the screen for you. For fuck's sake. What a ball ache. Hold on a minute. I'll get it back. Dear, oh dear. Okay, there it is. And where were we before? We were about, I don't know, 10 minutes into it or something. All right, there we go. We're back. Okay, so here they are, and they're all just discussing its genus. They're all just saying, oh, this is Homo Aqua, and it is literally Colin McFarlane's character, and it's something about it. I don't want to hate Colin McFarlane because he was in the Fast Show. You know, he was in that sketch where they did the posh Cockneys, where they go up north and it's like, hello, we're Cockneys. And then there's a Geordie up there as well. And he goes, oh, hello there, I'm a Geordie. Would you like to fight, you Cockney chav scum? And they all get into a fight. And then Colin McFarlane walks in and he's a yardie. And he goes, wagwan, Whitey, check me one time. And then they it's just stupid, you know. But he's very funny. And also he played Jeffrey Jackson in the Fast Show in the jazz club sketch where he sucks his trumpet instead of blowing into it, and that just makes me fucking crease up every time. So I've always liked this guy, and you know, he was also in The Dark Knight or The Batman Begins, whichever one it was, and it just makes me think, like, you know, what the hell? He was the commissioner before Gordon, you know. So I just thought, you know, this guy's probably above this. He doesn't need to be doing this, you know. But hey, I guess he does a lot of work for Doctor Who audiobooks and things like that. So they put him in it. And then he plays this, he's supposed to be like this sort of grizzled general guy, but then he also seems to be really, really obsessed with getting things right in terms of progressive values. So he says you can't call them whatever it is, like Reptilicus, Homo fucking whatever it is, Piscio sapiens or whatever the fuck they want to call it. He says Homo Aqua sounds better. And I just think to myself, yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason you said it. That's the reason RTD did it. And now he's written into the script that this guy feels the way he feels. So how gay is that? Major's Guild is here for $5. Thank you very much. Says, I was hoping for this not to be comically bad, not merely detritus. I suppose I have to hold out for Star Trek Starfleet Academy for that blue tinted 100%. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And yeah, it is just detritus, you know. At the moment, I feel like it could get a lot worse in the middle to the end sections of this, because there's definitely potential for some serious cringe. We just didn't approach it in the first episode, so at the moment, detritus is pretty much the only thing you can say. Yeah, that's fair. That's a pretty fair criticism. That's why I gave it a 4 out of 10 and not a 1 out of 10. But there you go. Anyway, thank you for that. Garrett Griffin has been a member for 7 months now. Says, hello, folks. Happy 7 months to me, I suppose. Well, yeah, I guess that is exactly what it is. Happy 7 months, buddy. And thank you. Thank you for being a member of the Griff Force for 7 months. We appreciate it. That's right. Me and the kids and my wife, we all appreciate it. Very much so. So there we go. Anyway, yeah, here we are. And at this stage now, Russell Tovey's Barclay is just as bewildered as everybody around him, except that he is not really equipped to be there, doesn't know what he's doing there, and yet out of all of them, he is the only one, because this is, of course, the contrivance that you need for the plot to happen, don't you know? He goes up to the body and, for whatever reason, crosses his heart, like, you know, Christian style. And I think when I saw this, I thought, he's scared. He's crossing his heart because he's fucking scared. Like, he's just worried. But I think you're supposed, well, no, I know that you are supposed to read it as he's being sympathetic for the dead creature and crossing his heart for that, which is fine. You know, people do that kind of thing all the time. But when I saw it, I thought he's crossing his heart because he's pissed scared out of his fucking mind at what he's looking at. But maybe I was wrong. Or maybe that is the reason he was doing it, and that everything that follows is based on a bunch of bullshit. That would be kind of funny, actually. But anyway, regardless, doesn't matter. They set up these speakers and they blast the translation pulse, which is basically saying hello to the not Silurians, to the Sea Devils. And I thought I had a subtitle track for this one. There it is. But there we go. Anyway, so that's where we're at. They've there, I've got it now there. A translation pulse. This is all bollocks, mate, but it's the Doctor Who universe. It's just that you don't have the Doctor there, so making up this kind of tech doesn't quite work as well without the massive benefit of just being able to say, well, it's wibbly wobbly timey wimey, you know, which I don't really like either, but hey, there you go. So the long and the short of it really is that and if you want more detail, I know in my review I said I would do more detail on the live stream, but I ended up doing a 40-minute video. So it feels like all the detail really is there. He's asleep. These two are guarding. There's this awkward moment where the female Asian soldier girl is like changing into a well, taking off her fucking, you know, fatigues. And he sort of looks over his shoulder, realizes that she's in a sports bra and looks away. It's like, isn't she a fucking soldier? She wouldn't give a shit about that. And neither should he. No one else is averting their eyes. Maybe he's just supposed to be, you know, too much of a civvy to fit in properly. Regardless, anyway, the ground opens up. Close Encounters of the Third Kind, yeah. And the ground in the room where the Sea Devil was strung up is being guarded by these guys, and the ground starts to go all squelchy and soft, and then it turns into like a kind of like a quagmire, but then it bursts through and there's just water straight beneath it, where they've like tunneled in or something. I don't really know. It's kind of like Doctor Who magic, and I can't remember if the Sea Devils could do this before, but I don't know. Whatever, anyway, they're both dead. They get dragged down, and then the Sea Devil lunges up from the water and grabs the body and takes it. I suppose that's fair, but again, fuck them. I don't care about the damn Sea Devils. Fuck them. I'm a human. You're trying to make me hate my own species, RTD. Kill me. Sorry. Kiss my ass. There we go. But there we go. So, yeah, General Austin is here, and he has a fucking panic attack on the radio when he hears his own voice coming back from underneath the ground. So he frantically begins to dig up what the hell he thinks is going on, and he finds, oh, it's a hand. It's the hand of one of the two soldiers from earlier, probably the guy, judging from the size of it. But there we go. Yeah, exactly. I didn't know that Sea Devils could literally manipulate matter yet. This seems like an ability that they shouldn't have. It seems like it's a little bit far-fetched for them to be able to do this. And if they can do this, why didn't they just take over years and years and years ago? It doesn't really make much sense to me. But hey, whatever, and it doesn't matter anyway. Garrett Griffin is here for $10. Thank you very much. Guys, very generous today. I love it. Thank you. Says, based on what I'm hearing about Getting the Sea, that's the other name we've been given this show, I think I preferred this storyline in Star Trek 4. Yeah, it could be that. Yes. Could just be me, though. Yeah, this storyline has definitely been done before. In fact, it's been done before by Russell T. Davies in his Torchwood third spin-off. which was Children of Earth, I think. It's more or less the same kind of thing. The government are trying to capitulate to the aliens, and Torch would have to stop them all, and it's going to be the same fucking thing again. It is. But there we go anyway. And thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much for the 10 bucks. Absolute legend. Cheers. Thank you.
10. Drop it.
Yeah, Major's Guild for 5-2 says, remember when the Master had to make a complex device just to talk to them and the Doctor fouls it up? Yes, exactly. The Master was very much present back then, and the Pertwee Doctor had to deal with them. I do remember like Sea Devils that are bursting onto a submarine or whatever it was back then. They use ultrasonic weapons in canon, yeah. Does that mean that they can manipulate the atoms of the ground and then put them back exactly as they found them, though? I don't know. Seems a little contrived, but it is what it is, I guess. It's a bit of a strange one. I don't get it either way. But yeah, thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. And 2 more. Holy shit, 2 more. Says, remember this story was written without Sea Devils. Was it? I don't know. I didn't follow the beginning of this. It does seem like the kind of thing that RTD was writing anyway before Disney came along, and then he just saw an opportunity to make this story and crowbarred it into the Doctor Who universe to make it work. But otherwise, he would have just written it as whatever it is. So that could be the case. I wouldn't know, but hey, you seem to, as always, know more about this stuff because you have the contact. So, yeah, enlighten me if you want. Yeah. And thank you again for the $2. Appreciate you guys, man. It's great. Thank you very much. So anyway, yeah, we continue on with the episode for a little bit longer. We'll get through it. We're not going to go in as much detail as before. Once again, he is telling everybody that he doesn't belong there. He's here by mistake. I'm not the guy. I haven't got the clearance. I'm a transport clerk. I don't need to be here. I shouldn't be here. And then Colonel Destiny, or whatever the fuck he is, he's like, are you saying you're here by accident? And his over the top fucking accent that he does, because he's as English as I am. He did exactly that, Will of the Fans, but I didn't need inside info for it. He stated it in a public interview. Oh, he did he? Ah, must have missed that one or forgotten it. I really didn't care about this show until about 2 months ago, I guess. I was just like, oh, God, this is going to be crap. But then I thought, a lot of people asking for reviews, so I'll do it. Fuck it. What else is the channel for? So he goes, are you saying you're here by accident? You know, it's like when a British person does an American accent and it's way too over the top, you know. And he's like, yes, sir. He says, well, and that, I suspect, is how history is made. It's like, all right, buddy, did Hideo Kojima write this dialogue? Like, what is going on? Why is he talking like this? It's like he knows that he's a side character in this guy's story. I hate when people write like that. It makes me really irritated. But, you know, it turns out that actually he is there for a reason. He's a civilian, and they have to have a civilian witness any interspecies or cultural moment that unit might get involved in. And then she bitches about the fact that he's not here by any real like metric of qualification. And well, she had to study hard and work her ass off to get here. So she's shitting on him as well. Like literally every character in this whole fucking story, apart from Colonel Destiny or whatever his fucking name is there, everyone hates Barclay. Everyone is just awful to Barclay all the time. Everyone, his kid, his ex-wife, the people around him that he works with, even the ones that go on and then die very soon afterwards, they're just all completely shitty to Barclay, which I suppose is one of the ways that RTD might be trying to get this show to gain popularity by making you feel sympathy for the white man in a show where you're not supposed to feel sympathy for any human at all. So there's that, I suppose. But there we go anyway. We'll carry on. So there we go. Anyway, it's fucking whatever. Eventually, we get to the point where he is given a camera to attend the first interaction with the Sea Devils as they start coming out of the sea. Now, makeup-wise, they do look a lot more advanced than they used to, which is good because it should. It's about fucking 50 years ago at this point that we were dealing with Sea Devils originally, and in 50 years, we've actually done quite a lot with makeup and CGI and such. So here we go. You get this really long scene where they're translating what he's saying, and basically every time the general guy says something, it's like, do you agree? Oh, he says, you killed us. Yes. Then you took 2 lives. I suggest we stop. Agreed. Hope we can meet in peace. Agreed. And learn together. Agreed. We'll forge a friendship. We do not agree. What do you mean you don't agree? We will all talk to all animals. What? Oh, it means that all of the, and this literally takes like, I don't fucking know, like 10 minutes or something. And it's all done for this like extreme drama. Like at any moment they might open fire with their spears. Are you fucking kidding me? This is supposed to be progressive, Russell, and you've got them all holding bloody spears. Oh dear. Well, maybe they can shoot stuff out of them. I can't really remember. It's been a long time, and I never watched the Sea Devils episode with Jodie, so I can't remember. But anyway, this fucking nerd is here translating everything, and as we proceed through the dialogue, they effectively decide that what they're going to do is they're going to all talk to all people all at once, which means now we're in Independence Day, as suddenly hundreds of Sea Devils appear. They arise from the seas everywhere on Earth at the same time, as everybody's phones, civilian or otherwise, get that alert like my phone gets when there's an earthquake, and tells them, oh, there's a major worldwide incursion in progress. Great! And we've got these giant sea platform things that rise up out of the ocean. I get why don't they have technology? Are they not supposed to be as advanced as us? I know they were in hibernation for a very, very, very long time, but like we don't run around on like our cars are not made of earth, you know. I just wonder about this shit. But anyway, the Jodie era Sea Devils were flying and had jumping, and oh god. There's your iconic shot. Once again, of course, it's an RTD thing, so I guess they repaired Big Ben over the last 15 years or so since the Raxacoricophalopatorians invaded, and now we've got Sea Devils here with spears, and people are freaking out like they've all somehow forgotten, and of course it's all fucking seen through the lens of a phone and through social media, and the Japanese and the Chinese are all introduced to them as well. We get these people on Twitter, kill the fish, hashtag Homo Aqua. Cringe. So yeah, there's loads of these platforms. They're in New York, they're in London, they're everywhere. That's right. And the president has a plan called H2O diplomacy, which I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just used to having Trump as a president, but that would have a much catchier name if Trump was president in this. But he's not. No one cares anyway. Meanwhile, over in Battersea, they are reworking the Imperial House to have this sort of waterway entrance from the sea so that they can do their conducting of diplomatic meetings with the Sea Devils in the middle of the fucking Imperial House in next to the Thames, apparently, because that's where we've decided that we're going to do everything. This just seems to have been okayed immediately, like that later that same day. I don't know. You don't really get a good passage of time here. But whatever. They managed to build this bastard immediately, despite London being a fucking nightmare of logistics. But whatever. We're back, though, now in the house, and we get this shot of, again, what is it? I don't know. It's a they them. That's all I can tell you. A they them apparent child again. Illegal in the UK, but whatever. Anyway, turns out that he's now become quite important and is required to attend all these meetings because he was there and he's the civilian guy. And now basically the plot is going to force him into a position where he can become the most important person on Earth. as it turns out. He's getting more shit off his ex-wife here. She's smiling at him while talking shit about him, and she literally says to his kid, "Oh, have you heard that, Kirby? Your dad doesn't want to pick you up from school because he can't be bothered." And it's like, well, no, I've been literally called in by unit to attend diplomatic peace talks with a fucking xenophobic parallel species. I can't pick him up from school. I can't have my weekend deadbeat dad duties for 3 weekends. And she like literally just cusses him out for it. It's like, what the fucking hell are you doing? Like, do you want me to take this plot seriously or not, RTD? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Just why is everyone an absolute bastard to this guy as well? I don't get it. Whatever. Then he tells her, "Oh, I've put 3,000 quid in your account." And instead of saying thank you, she says, "Oh, well, you must have got promoted then. Oh, so if you got," she literally says somewhere, she goes, "If you got 3 grand, or if I get 3 grand, how much did you get paid?" And again, it's like, wow, the divorce is final, bitch. But there we go. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Then she says, funny thing is, with these Sea Devils, they've actually got Kirby watching proper TV again. Proper TV. Proper TV like the old days, she says. Which is really, really obviously a shameless fucking propaganda statement for the merits of the BBC. As in, well, the BBC may be useless, defunct, struggling to make ends meet. No one's paying their TV license, and all the entertainment that they used to be known for is now just in the fucking toilet. I rest my case. Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen. But this line is implying that somehow having old proper style TV is they'll never replace the BBC. We get to watch the news on proper TV like the old days, as opposed to watching everything on your phone. Well, that's hilarious, because I certainly did not watch this on terrestrial broadcast television, and I am not now. So that's just blatant fucking like jerking off the BBC, trying to say like, well, we've got to have our fucking TV license, isn't it? Buy the license. Exactly, Cookie Kaiju. That's right. Buy the license. Exactly. Shameless pandering for the BBC there. Which is hilarious because, of course, this is also on Disney Plus and BBC iPlayer. And they are, when the ratings come out, and they'll be fucking terrible, they'll be going, "Oh, but what about the iPlayer numbers? What about the Disney numbers?" Like they did for the last 2 years. And they were all fucking awful numbers everywhere. Yes, jerking off BBC. I know. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Funny that, isn't it? Especially since this lady went obviously the opposite direction, but whatever. Anyway, it's all fucking terrible at this point. And that's right, this the kid who, again, what is it, goes, they're called homo spondyls. Arc at you. And then goes, don't laugh, homo doesn't mean gay, ha 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 ha. And then both parents are laughing at this. It's like, okay, Russell, I see it, right? So this is the thinking that has made you believe that you need to be out here virtue signaling about being gay and trans all the time, because you actually think people are that fucking bigoted. Well, if you said they're called homo blah blah blah, I'd be like, well, yeah, it makes sense, I suppose, until you do a bit of research and realize that it's the sapiens part that we share with the Sea Devils, not the homo part. They are in fact not homo with us because they're not the same. And that's what homo means. Similar. Fucking embarrassing. That's why homosexual means same sex. It means the same. So, no, they are not the same as us. And the sapien part is the intelligent part. So they should, in fact, be spondyle sapiens or whatever the motherfucker it is. In any case, for whatever reason, in 2025, RTD thinks there are still people who don't know what homo means when it comes to fucking ancient taxonomy. Like, that's not how people are, especially a guy who works for the fucking military. it's nonsense for unit, it's bonkers. But nonetheless, they actually do take a page right out of the playbook of fucking problematic white guy John, who I don't think is here in the chat right now, but if he is, shout out to you, John. You nailed it. He's been calling them the gay waters for about a week, and they actually fucking did. They said, oh yeah, that's them, the gay waters. And then, fucking hell, unbelievable. I'm not an advocate for this shit, this progressive bullshit at all. But even I was like, are you having a giraffe? When Barclay, of all people, who apparently I'm supposed to believe has a transgender kid, says, that's what you've been drinking, Kirby. Too much gay water. Oh my God, Russell. Do you really fucking think that people are like this? Do you really think that all of your, like, bleating on for a decade and change now about all this progressive wank that we've been putting up with since Gamergate 1 has actually led to this, that people would actually make that stupid joke to their own kid? Like, this guy doesn't, like, I've got to assume this guy actually cares about his kid, right? Why would you say that? I mean, if, like, any of us, if we know someone who has this whatever has gone and decided to do whatever the fuck this kid has done to themselves, you're probably just going to keep it zipped, because you just can't be bothered with the fucking backlash. Or are we going to get cancellations in episode 3 as the kid says, my dad's a bigot? I don't fucking know. I just think this writing is utterly unbelievable, that no one is actually likely to say that, especially to their own kid. Because, newsflash, 20 years ago, we were all already pretty fucking tolerant, which is the single most irritating thing about all of this woke BS that's been infecting our media for the last 2 decades, is the fact that we literally already accepted that gay people exist quite a while ago. We don't need this. No one was actually racist. No one was homophobic. No one ever had this fucking attitude in my entire adult life in public. Never. Or even in the privacy of their own home, or especially to someone they love who happens to represent the deviant lifestyles. You just don't. You just wouldn't talk like that. It's absurd. And it's that kind of thinking that's made Russell the fucking brainwashed zealot that he thinks needs to go and make everything about being gay and being black, being trans, being la 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 la, because they think that everyone in the world is like that. Well, we're not, buddy. All right. Never were. Anyway, Major's Girl for $2 says it isn't on D+, speculated to be there in February 2026. Okay, well, that's even better news then. Great. I don't want this to be on fucking Disney Plus until everybody's already seen it, so they get absolutely no benefit from it at all. Not that they would have in the first place. Doctor Who barely broke past number 6 in the D+ rankings in countries like Africa when it was brand new, coming out every week. And that led to literally no position whatsoever on Samba TV or the Nielsen rankings or anything like that, which is why Disney doesn't give a fuck. But to be fair, I don't like the BBC and I fucking hate Disney as well. So they can all felt each other for all eternity for all I care. Yeah! Garrett Griffin for $5 says, Will, this crap makes me glad I'm working on my own fiction now. My imaginal protagonist Emerald wants me to thank you on her behalf. Well, good for you and for her, I suppose, mate. Enjoy writing your own fiction. It's got to be better than this fucking stuff. There we go. Anyway, so yeah, here we go. We arrive now finally to the meeting, and of course, Tovy's here. He's got to do what he's got to do. Everybody, it's a fucking bollocks. There's Kate, Unit's here, talking about how she represents all species. And then we get this absolute kicker of a fucking moment as we discover Vincent Franklin playing the Prime Minister, which I think is hilarious because if you know, you know. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you. 20 years ago, this guy was in the thick of it, which was a political comedy show starring Peter Capaldi as Malcolm, I will fucking rip off your head and la 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 Tucker, the sweariest man in all of British media. And this guy was his antithesis. He was for the other political side, which was the conservative side. He was their spin doctor, and he was all new agey and hippie-fied, and it was fucking hilarious. So I like to think in my head canon somehow that he Mandela affected between universes and actually became the Prime Minister. That would be brilliant. But that's what that is, and I recognized his voice immediately, and it only actually usually takes me longer to recognize people, but about 10 seconds, I was like, wait a minute. I know that. No, less than 10 seconds, 5 seconds. I was like, oh my God, the Spin Doctor has become the Prime Minister. Fucking glorious. Now all we need is for Dr. Malcolm Tucker to show up, and we are in business again, boys. So there we go. Anyway, once again, we've got Kate Stewart's fuck toy here, whatever his name is, can't remember. She's there, Bingham. Isn't she the disabled lady? She's the wheelchair lady with the rockets in her wheelchair or whatever. She makes some pretty fucking based jokes in this, actually. Then you've got your ambassador guy who looks about as Etonian as you could possibly get. Anyway, whatever, they're all there, and then suddenly, is this the moment? I think when Mr. Terrific actually does show up. Oh no, they shoot down a drone. That's right. There's a press drone trying to get a shot inside the building, and for whatever reason he panics. He's like, "Oh, my family doesn't know I'm here." What, you told him you just got promoted and you can't be available for 3 weekends? You didn't tell him why? Like, why? Okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Maybe he doesn't want his wife back. To be fair, I wouldn't. But anyway, there you go. Then Mr. Terrific himself does show up and has a go at him. And now we got another one here who looks like a toffee-nosed Tory prick. And he goes, thanks to you, I'm not even allowed in this room. And it's like, well, thanks to him. We've spent the entire fucking episode establishing here that this guy doesn't want to be here, isn't qualified, wildly is averse to everything that's going on, and has been put into this situation by a sequence of extreme coincidences that none of which are anywhere near his comfort zone. He doesn't want any part of this. I'm guarantee he would rather you be sitting in this chair than him, mate. But this dickhead shows up just to shout some shit at him and then gets kicked out by security. It's like, all right, why? What was that? Why did we have that scene? Didn't need it. Bollocks to it. Fuck it. So they fill up a 900,000 liter tank of water through the waterway and allow the Sea Devils to swim their way in with, there are 7 of them. There's 4 Sea Devils, 2 fish-headed men, literally fish-headed men, fishmen. I used to sing about fishmen in this stupid band I was in when I was in my 20s. And anyway, they arrive there, and then they give them a silly name as well. I can't think what the silly name is now. Maybe it's in my notes. Let's have a look. What do they call them? Piscimorpha grandis. That's what the name that the unit tech bitch gives them, because apparently they don't really have any, like. Well, apparently they're the most bigoted bunch of the lot of them, you know? Not very bigoted, but a tiny bit bigoted. To call them Piscimorpha or Piscimorpha grandis, which just literally translates to big fish. Just like, okay, based. Anyway, this one, that's it. So there you go. Typical. She looks like she's Southeast Asian, to be fair, and the Southeast Asians are incredibly based. So there's that. Anyway, let's continue as we proceed. So we've got the 4 sea men, the 2 fish men, and finally the one with the human face. Gugu Mbatha-Raw finally shows up. Here she is at last. We finally get to the thing that we've been looking at pictures of for fucking months, and to be quite honest, it's just as underwhelming as you might expect. So there we go. We get this sad little scene where the ambassador man tries to offer a gift with all of his wonderful training in diplomacy and bullshit. She speaks Russian to him. He speaks Russian back, just, which is, you know, clever, basically. Well played, you know, not making us look as ignorant as they think we are. So fair enough. He offers her a dwarf snow rhododendron as a peace offering between their people, a gift for their diplomacy. It's the flower that grows on the highest peaks of all the earth, apparently, and has a wonderful smell that they invite them to inhale, and they do. Then the fishies say that they've got a gift too, and so they sling onto the ground a couple of dead eggs. My fucking God, it's like Greenpeace arrived in the room, or PETA or someone, you know. It's better to abort babies than to abort fish. Okay, whatever you say there. So apparently it turns out that her children should have been born at the turn of the third cold current, but instead they choked on oil, poison, and shit. She literally says excrement. Well, I'm sorry, bitch, but we don't have anywhere else to put it. You know, anyway, whatever, it doesn't matter. She refuses to talk to this guy, Sir Jonathan Hines, and instead demands to talk to this guy, the guy who literally gets a crash zoom on him, boom, just like that. Me? Why would you want to talk to me? I'm nobody. I shouldn't even be here today. Okay, Dante, whatever you say, buddy. So there, she demands to talk to him, and they ask, and Kate Stewart's like, who the hell is he? Why don't we know anything about this guy? Well, it's probably because you don't even know what his fucking job role is at UNIT, and you've put him in a position that he is not at all equipped for. But hey, there you go anyway. No, the eco allegory is not going to drop anytime soon. The whole fucking show is an eco allegory, mate. That is the whole show. That's the whole point of it, is that this is their planet and we just inherited it while they were in hibernation, and now they want it back, and we've been killing their babies with our awful pollution of the oceans, guys. It's so you know what, you want to do something about the problems of polluting the ocean? Why don't you go to fucking China and do something about it there? Because it's sure as fuck ain't going to be us with all of the bullshit net zero crap that have been pumped into the media over the last 15 years or whatever. It ain't us. It's happening more in China than anywhere else in the whole fucking world. You should have set the show there, Russell. But then you wouldn't be able to have a go at white people, would you, you bastard? So that's why it's done this way. Anyway, it says he's part of the team. He's the witness. So they figure out who he is. He's the mistake. They literally call him a mistake. Fucking glorious. Isn't it wonderful, guys? You're a mistake. Beautiful. Anyway, so they want to know all about him, but he's just there going, oh, you got the wrong man. You got the wrong man. And she says, no. You were the guy who crucified yourself or crossed your heart. You're the only person who's shown us any kindness. Well, I mean, to be fair, they did kill that thing, then strung him up, and the only person apparently who came along and did the crucifix thing is him. And he said, oh no, that's just the thing, I'm not even religious. You respected our fallen kin when no others did. So because he was a bit nice, or if you ask me, just fucking petrified, that's why she has mistakenly thought that he's the guy she should be talking to. Are you willing to be the man and talk on behalf of the entire human race? And he goes, okay. And that's episode 1. Fuck me. What a load of absolute bollocks. I swear to God, man, like literally, the thing is, right, it's not as bad as Doctor Who. It's a lot of the same shit, but without it also dragging the legacy of Doctor Who down to its level. This is just a show about this. And yeah, it's progressive bollocks and whatever. I didn't hate every moment of it. It's woke, definitely, but it's not like scream your head off woke. It's like woke, you know? And yeah, it just goes on like this, and it's competently made, I guess. The people who worked on it from a mechanical standpoint deserve some praise, I suppose. It doesn't look terrible. The CGI is not that bad. So from a mechanical standpoint, I guess not a bad job. Well done. From a writing standpoint, absolute cancer. Every character in this is a detestable piece of shit, except for Barclay himself, who is just, an out-of-depth, confused, lost white guy, which, again, I should get offended by, but I've seen, again, worse versions of that character multiple times throughout the last 20 years of British entertainment. So you know, at least he's nutting up and going and doing what people are asking him to do, even though he hasn't really got a reason and he doesn't really know what he's doing. I don't find him unlikable. You know, I think I feel like maybe Russell Tovey's got this gift to be able to portray a character like that in a way that makes you sort of go, bloody hell, mate, rather than, look, what the fuck is wrong with you, you know? But that's where I'm at anyway. Not really very good. That's all I can say. Not very good. Not as bad as some of the shit that I saw in Doctor Who earlier this year. Not as bad as that, certainly, but not good. Not good. Definitely not worth watching. Not worth losing the time for, unless someone is going to pay you for it, which I appreciate. Thank you very much for the super chats, guys. So there we go. Speaking of which, we got a couple more. Rhoda's in the chat for £2. Says skip to where they throw soup at the artwork. Right. Fucking A. Exactly. Disgraceful. It's like that. It's a show for those people. That's who it's for. It's for people who throw soup at artwork. They genuinely want to make you feel like those people have a fucking point. Those people do not have a point. They've never had a point. They don't deserve to be taken seriously, and this is just propaganda for them. So there you go, I guess. Ultimately, I think that you know, there are worse things that have been made. There are worse things made by Russell T. Davis, but it's certainly not something that people should be watching. It's fucking bollocks, actually. That's what it is. Anyway, there you go. Thank you very much, Rhoda. I do appreciate you for that, man. Thank you for the... Christian with the 50 says, wait, how do the sea creatures living way down at the bottom of the sea know what doing a cross means? Right. Yes, exactly. There's another one. Yeah. What point have they ever taken any notice or consideration of our fucking human religions? If he had bowed on a mat for Allah, would she have said the same thing? You know, if it's just that he happened to do that, and they happen to know that that is sort of either something you do when you are terrified and silently praying, or when you are sympathizing and silently praying for someone else, you know. And he's not even religious. He just happened to choose to do the crossing your heart thing, which, you know, I'm not a religious person, and the only times I've ever crossed my heart were like when my daughter was born and had pneumonia, and then even then I was just like that, you know. I wasn't going like this or across like properly. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's an enormous contrivance that happened at all, and the fact that it then goes on to set up the entire plot whereby Russell Tovey's character will now become the most important man alive because he did that. It's also really interesting that RTD, who obviously isn't going to be into religion, would make that a virtuous move on the part of the character when the progressives fucking hate the Christians. So I don't know. I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know how to read the mind of Russell T. Davis. If I did, I'm sure I'd be a happier person. But I don't. And to be fair, I don't really want to either. So yeah, I don't know. No one does. Maybe we can ask RTD, but more likely than not, he'll just call us a bunch of fucking trolls if you do. So there you go. It's up to him. Fuck this show, though. Waste of time. Unless, like I said, someone's going to pay you for it. And, well, thank you. The bar is doing quite well. If you do fill it up, we get it to halfway. We get some booby clips for you guys. So there we go. But yeah, no, overall, meh. That's the only word I've been able to really say in response to this. The first episode, anyway, just meh. You know, just that's it. Welcome to the war between the land and the sea. Fortunately, so far, we haven't actually had any real wet side story, but I'm sure it's coming because, you know, these two characters are going to interact and forge a relationship between man and fish. So there you go. Fucking crazy. Absolute insanity. Anyway, Garrett's back for another $2. Thank you very much, mate. Contrivances in RTD's work? Say it ain't so. I know, right? I know. Could you imagine such a thing as a massive contrivance in a story written by Russell T. Davis? Russell T. Oh, a planet was named after you, Belinda Chandra Davis. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Everything he writes is contrived. It's terrible. He's a terrible writer. And I've only just come to realize it. Well, I think we were all just sort of a little spellbound by how good an actor Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant and that were in the original run, and the amount of quality writers that were working with Russell T. Davis in the original Doctor Who run. That's all I can attribute it to. The fact that it was popular at all in 2005 through 15 is that, you know, you had Moffat and people like that who were writing these great stories. You had all kinds of really, really top tier fucking writers coming in and smashing out these really cool Doctor Who stories. And then you got Russell T. Davis making the master dance to Here Come the Drums, and somehow we didn't notice, or we just didn't care that it was a little bit cringe at the time, because we were just happy to see it. And now you go back and you look at it and you're like, oh boy, some of this is rough, you know. But there you go. Anyway, I guess that's the way it is. And thank you very much for the $2, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. And there we go. We got quite a few people watching either on YouTube or on X right now. So hello to the people on X. If you're there, come over and join us over here on YouTube where the chat is. And it would be nice to hear from you. So there we go. That's about it. That's all I can say about this first episode of War Between the Land and the Sea. We'll talk about it again tomorrow, no doubt, on WTF Live. I know that John's been trying to find a way to watch it, but of course, without it being at all visible anywhere, in any way, shape, or form on any of those sites, you know, it's definitely not available on any of them. Definitely aren't dozens of links that you can find on those places of ill repute. Definitely don't go looking. You won't find it if you do go looking. You definitely won't. And even if you did, I wouldn't recommend actually engaging with it in any way, shape, or form. And that part I'm actually being earnest about. So there we go. Anyway, yeah, that'll do. That'll be my review for episode 1 of Wet Side Story, aka Get in the Sea, the War Between the Land and the fucking Sea. A nothing burger, in other words, basically. But there you go. We do in fact have plenty of other topics that we need to talk about, because besides Russell T. Davis, there have in fact been other things that happened in the world over the last few days, including all kinds of stuff in gaming and across media. We've got corporate buyouts. We've got wrestlers who have been on podcasts. We've got a return of the greatest films ever made to theaters. And we've got some tits too. I'm sorry, a story about Sydney Sweeney as well. So let's get into this. And John's finally here. John, did you see the moment when they referred to the Homo Aqua as gay waters? Did you happen to see that? Because I think they were listening when you coined that phrase, which is funny, really, because I think out of all the things people have been calling the Homo Aquas, that was the most sort of obvious and on the nose. So the fact that it was even in the episode is kind of crazy. It's like, I swear they're watching us, you know? When they call it Planet of the Incels and stuff like that, it's like, are you guys? And they put hashtag RIP Doctor Who in an episode of Doctor Who. It's like, do you guys actually watch? Are you watching the streams? You know, but well, whatever. Anyway, it's nice to see everybody here in the chat. David Farrell says, yeah, the Rose 10 dynamic was more due to the talent of Billy and David than the writing. Correct. Yes, I think so. I do. I think that a lot of the auxiliary writers besides RTD were carrying the weight of the shows. I think that the acting cast were extraordinary, and you know, I can't stand David Tennant anymore. The man is an insufferable pain in the ass, but he's still a very good actor. So, you know, credit where it's due. Can't really go around saying David Tennant sucks, can I? Because he just doesn't. He's very good. But there we go. You haven't seen it yet, but for fuck's sake, oh well, there you go. There's a minor spoiler for you, mate. But there is actually a moment where they refer to Homo Aqua as gay water. True story. True fucking story. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. That will conclude the war between the land and the sea segment. So if that's all you came for, I understand if you want to bugger off, but I would very much appreciate it if you stayed. We do talk about other things here besides Doctor Who. Although you wouldn't know it from the views that those videos get, but hey, that's what we do here. That's what we do. So let's talk about something else. I'm just gonna have a glug of water because I've talked for a solid hour now, and oh boy, that is a lot harder than you'd think. Okay, so like the stream. If you've liked the stream, please, that would be very, very appreciated. Go ahead and join the Griff Force if you haven't before. You'll find that you can gain all kinds of privileges, including the backlogs of streams and various other things like that. And stick around, because we're going to go into some gaming stuff now. Specifically, we need to talk a little bit about what the hell has happened with Metroid, because in addition to all the other terrible things that we've seen about this game with the Marvel humor and the hand-holding that goes on, now I know it's a few days old and I'm a little late, but I want to talk about it because I haven't yet. Paywalling background music. I genuinely never thought I would ever live to see the day. Fucking despicable from Nintendo. So we'll get into it. We'll get into that. Before we do, just let me double check my windows are set up properly because I had to switch from... Yep, there we go. There we go. All right, we're going to get into it then. So, strap in, because Nintendo has really outdone itself this time with Metroid Prime 4. The latest controversy is that they've decided the background music for the absolutely awful looking driving sections, yes, the parts nobody asked for, will actually only be unlocked if you order a $30 amiibo toy. That's right, $30 on top of the game, by the way. So that would bring it to what, $100 for the complete experience, just for some tunage that you should get for free, included in the game. Naturally, the Nintendo shills are out in full force, trying desperately to defend this by saying, oh, well, you know, if you find every single collectible in the game and you scan everything in the entire game, you know, an insane time-consuming practice, and basically not something most people will do, then you can unlock it. It basically means that you are forced to either grind exponentially or pay up. It's classic anti-customer nonsense wrapped in a we care about gameplay excuse. Nintendo has clearly decided that monetizing the tiniest, most inconsequential things that should just be part of a game is more important than respecting the fans who actually buy their games. And you know, I don't take very kindly to that on this channel. So let's break down why this is ridiculous and why people are, frankly, rightfully furious. All right, let's begin. This one comes from Insider Gaming. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond locks basic feature behind $30 amiibo. This is insanity. This is insanity. I'm sorry. I never thought I would ever live to see the day that Nintendo, a company that had my loyalty for 30 years, would turn around and slap the players in the face like this. It's just insulting. And nothing anyone can say is going to change my mind about that. But let's get into it anyway. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond is finally in the hands of players worldwide after years, 18 of them, of waiting. But players have uncovered that a basic feature is locked behind an amiibo. Unreal. 18 years after Metroid Prime 3 Corruption was first released, the fourth installment in the series launched on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2 on December the 4th. But early impressions are mixed, with critic scores being the lowest in the series. Yes, it's only got like 8s out of 10. Pretty bad for a flagship Nintendo brand. It's important to get that across. You have different standards when it comes to Nintendo. Nintendo inbuilt homegrown brands are 9s and above to a man, and they should never drop below that. That is the brand of Nintendo. The best. That's what it always was, or it was supposed to be anyway. Now, if you go digging, you'll find, of course, that there have always been turkeys on Nintendo platforms, but this is a Nintendo game made by Retro Studio, who made the others. So there shouldn't be a problem. The problem is that Nintendo's bosses have changed, and now they're behaving like EA, which is funny because EA is being bought by the Saudis and is going to have to change a few things around there. But anyway, there's still time for it to change. However, and user scores may be more positive, but the locking of the basic feature behind a paywall has left one area of the game feeling barren. Well, to be fair, if you were going to take the background music from any part of the game, you probably shouldn't have taken it from a section that is just wide open and vastly empty, because it just hits you in the face with how empty, barren, and devoid of sound it actually is. Of course, maybe that's by design. Maybe they really just don't give a fuck and decided, hey, we're going to be as blatant as we can by torturing the players into paying up for this by giving them the most boring, dull, unimpressive driving section they possibly can, and then literally ripping the music from it so that there's not even anything to enjoy in that. But anyway, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond desert music locked behind amiibo purchase. As was pointed out by Luke Stevens on Twitter, Metroid Prime 2 Beyond's music in the desert, an area explored while driving the Viola bike, is absent unless you purchase the $30 Samus amiibo. Unreal. Unfucking real. How dare they do this? For all the money that Nintendo has made over the last 3 decades from fans, after all the fucking money they've accumulated in their war chest, the legendary Nintendo war chest, and they nickel and dime you for fucking background music. Outrageous. This is an actual scandal. Don't sit and let the shills tell you, oh, you know, my master's feet got dirty on my back. I should apologize. No, fuck off. You deserve better than this. Don't put up with it. Nintendo's product description lists background music as a perk from owning the Samus amiibo. This is fucking abysmal, man. What happened to Nintendo music in the first place? Barely existent in the new Zeldas. And at least them you get like classic costumes unlocked from amiibos, and you can find them all in the game too. And you don't have to do everything in the game to get them either. Like this. But anyway, along with the ability to activate a shield that will block up to 99 damage and fully restore Samus's life once a day. See, that I can understand. That doesn't sound like that sounds like amiibo level crap, right? Only like you don't need it. It doesn't really help. It doesn't change the game that much. And if you care that much, you can go ahead. But background music is a part of gaming. It's always been a part of gaming. You're insulting people like Nobuo Uematsu, Koji Kondo, you know, all the greats by doing this. It's despicable. Anyway, it says the description doesn't inform you, however, that without the amiibo figure, the desert landscape in Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will be eerily silent and offers nothing if you haven't splashed out on the figurine. There are also 2 other amiibo figures to purchase to get an additional bonus in the game. The Samus and Viola figure, providing customizable colors, the ability to check total distance levels, who cares about that, and a once per day increase to the rate of regeneration for Viola's boost energy. What? That sounds proper predatory. I do not like that at all. Anyway, the final figure, Cyrax? As in, hopefully not the same Cyrax from Mortal Kombat. Where are you running? Why are you running? Allows you to see the full version of the movies that are shown in fragments throughout the game once you've completed it, a feature that is otherwise locked behind achieving a 100% scan rate and item collection rate. A 100% scan and item collection rate. Jesus Christ. So you've literally got to do everything in the game, completely complete it to the last degree to be able to get background music for the driving, at which point you'll have no use for it anyway. Literally none. What is it with Nintendo and underwhelming driving lately? It's weird. So now you've got to get this amiibo. So you've got to get this amiibo that will no doubt run out of stock almost immediately because that's Nintendo. Planned obsolescence, planned scarcity, always the same practices from Nintendo. They've always done that. Artificial scarcity is no stranger to us. But when you are putting like core functions of the game, and I know people are going, well, it's only background music. It's not that important. Fuck off. There are whole award categories dedicated to the soundtracks of video games. Earlier this year, people were jamming to the soundtrack of Expedition 33 in their cars. That's gaming music. Gaming music is colossal. I've been to concerts of orchestras playing game music. It's no small thing. And to say it is disingenuous as fuck. Absolutely disingenuous as fuck. This is a very important thing. And again, once again, I have to say it. I always have to say this stuff. It's a precedent. If they do it now, they'll do it with something else. And it will get worse. And it will get more and more predatory until eventually, when you buy a game, you are effectively shelling out $70, $80 sometimes for the bare bones minimum version of the game. And we're not talking about additional missions and DLC that doesn't affect the game. We're talking about Nintendo cutting content, which is the second time we've seen that this year. We saw it with Pokemon, what is it, ZA, or whatever the fuck. I didn't even bother with it. I'm not getting a Switch 2. They've just pissed me off too much. And they cut the content from the end of the game, basically the meta game at the end, which a lot of people get Pokemon for. And then they suffer through the annoying, kitschy storyline to get to the point where they can migrate all their Pokemon over and start battling online. That's the part with the hyper leveling and the end game zones that you can go to that they've locked away behind a $30 additional price tag. And they're doing it again with the background fucking music for a section of Metroid Prime 4. It's disgraceful. I don't know what kind of person would disagree with that. It is abysmal. Do not do it. Don't let them get away with it. Make noise. Don't fucking engage with this fucking game. Unless you find some other way to do it. But I couldn't possibly know what I'm talking about there. In any case, this is a disgusting development. It's just more of the same. Nintendo has turned, ladies and gentlemen. They don't respect you. They don't appreciate us, our money, or our time. And as long as that remains true, they can go jog on. Because I'm not interested and I'm not paying for it. And I suggest that you don't either. There you go. That's what I think, ladies and germs. That's what I think. Anyway, there we go. Rhoda's here for £5. Is that the last one? Let me see. Yeah, that was the last one. Yeah. Okay. Time Sega came back with a budget alternative to PC-based consoles. Only way I'm getting a console next gen. Screw Ninty, Sony, and Xbox. I'm Steam at the moment. Yeah, me too. 3-4 years now I've been on Steam primarily, as opposed to just as a backup. You know, I've been amassing games. People gift me games all the time. It's very generous. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've got over like 150 games now on Steam. It's crazy. I will one day have time to play them all. It will be glorious. I will look forward to it massively. And in the meantime, I just don't see the point. I don't need a PlayStation. I don't need an Xbox. And as much as I was hyped, remember back in March, April, I was the guy who was advocating for the Switch 2. Oh, this looks great. It looks amazing. It's going to be really cool. Bang. Pay up, bitch. Whoa. And what exactly am I paying for? Games that don't have the games on them? You can lock me out if I try to do anything with this Switch that you don't like? What's that? $10 upgrades that barely look any different from the originals? And of course, now this. Suck it, Nintendo. Get in the sea. Not interested. Thank you, Rhoda. Appreciate you, mate. I really do. Hey, hello to Smash JT. How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you coming. Says, haha, they called it Cyrax. It's supposed to be Cylux. Oh, right. Okay. Wish I'd noticed that during the fucking recording. But oh, well, it is what it is, I suppose. They mixed it up with Mortal Kombat in this article. Yeah, clearly. I wish I had my clip. I've got that clip of, is it Cyrax? Yeah, running through the jungle. And then, of course, the mask comes up and you see that it's a black woman. And then I changed it so that the audio was the audio from this.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
But thank you very much, Smash. Appreciate you. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, buddy. Cheers.
Holy crap! Holy crap!
So seldom have an opportunity to play that. All right, Sardox here for another £5. You guys are going above and beyond today with
every single person of, you know, that's intelligent, hardworking, ambitious, had dreams and goals, has abandoned England in the last 200 years.
True story. Says gaming music is serious business. Unironically serious business, probably even bigger than film music. I think so, yeah. I think you're much more likely to find people listening to game soundtracks than movie soundtracks these days, especially because movie soundtracks are so generic these days. There's almost no actual talent in it. It's all just dun 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 kind of fucking shite like that. Whereas video game music gets in your head because you're experiencing something at the same time as you're hearing it. So it becomes attached to you in a more intimate way. I'm sure of that. That's definitely the reason. So yeah, whoever says it's just game music lives under a rock. They certainly do. I've been to Distant Worlds concerts. I've been to video game orchestra concerts. I've done all kinds of stuff like that. I've written music for other people's games, and I've spent probably more time listening to game music than any other genre of music in my adult life. So, yeah, not wrong at all, buddy. Not wrong at all. But there we go. It is what it is, I suppose. Fucking hell. But thank you very much for that. Appreciate you. And that's the bar over 60. That's halfway, buddies. Oh, well, I suppose we'll invite the ladies of gaming and anime to entertain you for a couple of moments, shall we? Yeah.
I've seen your heart across the screen, every cheer, every dream in between. You stayed up late, you pressed restart, you level up right off the chart. I'll show you something good tonight, a little shimmer in the neon light. You gave your time, your touch, your move, so now I'll show you something good. From velvet skin to crimson eyes, I'm your reward, your sweet surprise. You've been faithful, brave and true. Now I'll show all my thanks to you. A flicker, a glance, a dangerous grin, a promise to let the fantasy in. Your dreams have fed our mystic mind, so take a hand into the light. We'll show you something tonight. Not just pixels in the light. You believed, you fought, you stood. Now we'll show you something good. No cheat codes, no hidden key, just pure affection. Faithfully, our hearts are yours. You understood. Now come and see. Something good. Something good.
Oh no, I wonder if the X people are still alive. Anyway, there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much, everybody, for supporting the channel. Appreciate you. Anyway, there we go. Gracias. Of course. Of course. It's always fun. And nothing wrong with that little bit of the old booby game. Anyway, there we go. We'll move on. We'll get to another topic now, I suppose. And we'll proceed from there. It's another Metroid one, unfortunately. I actually can't believe it, but yeah, they've the game's Jono Trash are at it again, guys. It's fucking unbelievable, but here we go. Here we go. And I really hope that you buckle up, because the gamer is at it again. The gamer is, of course, a publication, if you like, a website that was once supposedly about gaming, but now it's gutted, layoff ridden, and horrifyingly woke. And this particular publication has decided that having Samus Aran as a strong female character is not enough. They've gone full desperation mode and pushed the laughable theory that Samus is actually transgender. Yes, really, a lugabutacur. Same site that claims to champion gamers apparently can't accept a female protagonist existing without having to warp her into some victimhood narrative so they can virtue signal endlessly about oppression and marginalization and other bollocks. It's peak desperation, alienating their own supposed allies, feminists, you know, as insufferable as they are, and everyone who just wants a competent, iconic female character in a legendary franchise, because apparently in 2025, having Samus be female is just too normal for the gamer. They have to fit her into some manufactured culture war talking points. Let's just dive in and unpack why this nonsense is just another display of embarrassing woke overreach. Excuse me. There we are. And this is from Geeks and Gamers, of course, covering the fact that the gamer is really going above and beyond with some stupid crap this time. So let's take a look. The gamer pushes theory that Samus is trans in latest attempt to inject agenda on Nintendo characters. Why do they do this? It doesn't fucking matter. Who cares? I mean, well, to be fair, okay, we don't want this to be the case. It's stupid. They did it with Princess Zelda. They tried to get a tranoid actor to play Princess Zelda, and of course got totally felted when they cast a real woman. Why do I have to do this, man? Why do we live in this day and age? Anyway, for years, gaming urinalism outlets have been itching to rewrite classic characters to fit modern narratives, but the gamer has taken that impulse to new extremes. Their latest piece resurrects a long-debunked internet theory and tries to present it as something Nintendo should canonize. The idea that Samus Aran is secretly a tranoid. I know. And just in case readers missed the agenda, the article leads with a quote from actress Abigail Thorne, declaring, "I still think Nintendo should come out and tell us what we already know, which is that Samus is trans." Look, wasn't it enough when Samus took off her suit at the end of Metroid 1 to reveal it was always a woman? Wasn't it enough that no one in the 80s batted an eyelid? They went, it's a chick. Cool. Badass. Wasn't that enough for you fucking people? No, you just got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until there's no such thing as normal. For an outlet that claims to care about respecting games creators and established law, pushing this narrative and calling it a popular fan theory is something else entirely. It's just literally the same stupid crap that they tried to pull with that Hunter Schafer person that they tried to say was, being celebrated and being recommended for casting in the Zelda movie as Princess Zelda. And it turned out that it was no one. No one was saying this. Proportionally, no one. Less than 0.5% of people in the gaming space were saying this needed to happen. And it's going to be the same thing again, completely artificial and manufactured by the urinalists. And fans, of course, immediately called it out right on the gamer's own comments section. Samus Aran is not just another video game hero. She's one of Nintendo's few long-standing female action protagonists, a trailblazer in 1980s gaming, a surprise reveal that stunned the industry, and a character who paved the way for other heroines. Her entire legacy was built on one simple idea: a woman could be the strongest character in the room. All right, this sounds a bit progressive for me, but yeah, basically, she was a badass space hunter, warrior, pirate, bounty hunter, whatever. She was the suit, the power, the moment. Yeah. To be fair, the suit did a lot of the heavy lifting, but Samus is certainly a badass. Rewriting her as being a biological man identifying as a woman all along would obliterate one of gaming's earliest and most meaningful milestones for female representation. Yes, by their own fucking standards, they would be destroying representation, which I was told for years was so very important. Yeah, they really did overstretch with that whole trans thing, didn't they? They really did. As soon as it became about that, is like half of the wokies went, wait a minute, you want a what now? You're saying who's a what now? You know, this is why they hate J.K. Rowling. Because they're idiots. They're idiots who just chase the virtue like a freaking junkie chasing the dragon. Many commentators in the Gamer's Own thread pointed this out completely unprompted, emphasizing that Samus helped establish that women could be action heroes without needing any kind of retcon. Well, of course, it was all very alien-inspired. Of course, the Metroids are like face huggers, etc. You got Kachansky in Series 8 Red Dwarf, of course, as well, yeah, and Series 7. One comment put it bluntly, imagine being a character that changed the whole video game industry for being the first female protagonist ever. Hello, I didn't realize that Jennifer Lawrence was here. Where is she? Oh, no, she's not. Okay. Just for people to now say that you've always been a dude. I mean, cuckoo. What do you want from me? This is the world we live in now, where people will turn around and say, oh, no, it's got to actually be a man. Now it's not woke enough unless it's also a biological male. The stupidity is off the charts. Even people who don't follow Metroid lore instinctively understood what this rewrite could mean. It strips away something important. If the Samus story feels familiar, it's because they've been down this road before. They wanted Link to be trans in whatever way we want them to be. Link is a trans character in whatever way we want them to be. Them. Link is a male and identifies as a male. And to be fair, you're very lucky if anyone ever cares how a person identifies. The overwhelming majority of people on Earth will never, ever care. There are people in this world still. There are people where I live who can barely afford to feed their families. There are people whose homes were washed away by a typhoon less than a month ago. And you think you're one day going to have the whole world going, people's pronouns fucking matter? Are you joking, bro? And you're trying to say this about fictional characters now? It's just cope. It's just cope. The piece argued Link defies gender norms. No, he doesn't. He's a guy. Link's feminine design in early trailers signaled a journey of queer exploration. What? Where? No. Cross-dressing scenes implied something deeper about his identity. No, he could only get into the fucking Gerudo town by dressing as one of them, and they're all women. It's funny. It's played for laughs. Same as when Cloud did it in Wall Market in FF7, before that suddenly became about progressivism and being intrusive. Fuck off, mate. Cloud's chasing Tifa, an heiress with an S. Link could be interpreted as trans, complete with commentary about top surgery scars. Cuckoo! Hello? Are you alive in there? What are you on about? This is nonsense. It wasn't subtext or fan fiction. It was the gamer positioning a decades-old male protagonist as a canvas for activist reinterpretation, not based on canon, but on the author's personal ideological projection. And this is why games journalism is dead. This is why. Because you hire people and then you pay them to write this fucking garbage that has no merit or basis in reality and offers nothing of any actual value to the human experience reading the damn article. You're wasting people's time and making people actively dumber. Stop it. It's insane. It's fucking insane. And you look ridiculous. The Samus article is simply the next escalation, now framed as a celebrity-backed push for Nintendo to confirm something the law has never supported. When this becomes a pattern, Link now Samus, it stops looking like analysis and starts looking like deliberate messaging, but fans aren't buying it. You got comments here. Oh, so a loud minority is being reported and made to look more important than they really are. If players want to invent a trans character in their head canons, then whatever. Nothing can stop them. For the rest of us, the mostly silent majority, leave the character be a strong female character. Yeah, indeed. Good point. Another user rejected the premise outright. There's not many women lead heroine already. I feel this one should stay as and not get reappropriated. Someone else put, ladies have got too few heroes to call their own. I disagree, but fine. Samus is one of them. Let the women have their girl power. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Let them. I don't mind that. It's fine. They liked Lara Croft in the 90s. They thought she was a sex symbol, a symbol of femininity, and to be fair, so did we. What's wrong with having a muscular, powerful female protagonist? Well, she's not really muscular. She's just wearing a combat suit. The gamer isn't reporting, its lecturers and readers know it. Yeah. Fucking cringe. Earlier this year, the gamer went through major layoffs following the site's years-long shift into opinion-based, identity-focused content rather than straightforward game reporting. And this is why you fail. This is the real reason why Gamergate happened. And, you know, you may be one of these people, a normie watching and thinking, well, I thought Gamergate was a targeted harassment campaign. No, afraid not. It was a response to journalistic bias that has to go in order to get back some semblance of sanity. And without it, we'll all just be falling further down the rabbit hole of abject moronitude, just like with this. That's enough for this. I don't want to hear it again. The gamer is defunct. They really just need to get in the sea. Along with all the shit that they're advocating and the people who advocate for it as well. Enough said. But there you go. Right, it says, what? Lara, Tifa, Terra, Claire, Ishtola? Loads of the best game characters are women. It's true. There are a lot of really good female characters. They're not all action heroes, though. It's really only like Lara Croft and stuff like that. And then, of course, you know, in RPGs, oh, excuse me, very tired. You'll get characters like Tifa, who's a badass, you know, she's a combat specialist, etc., etc. And then Aerith, of course, more of a mage type, can get away with stuff like that. But then, you know, hey, it is what it is, I guess. And these people just can't accept women being good. And the reality is, unless you are already a massive activist for the trans agenda, you're not going to create a game where the main character is trans. You're just not. Let them have that if they want. That's fine. I don't care. They can have their what's it called? That fucking abysmal game that we looked at the other week. Screech or something. What the hell was it called again? I can't remember. Awful pap though. And hey, if they want that and they can have their Dustborns as well, whatever, and they will never sell and they'll never make any money, and then they'll get angry because no one wants to play it. And they'll realize, because they always must, that they are in fact a tiny group of people that no one gives a fuck about. And that's that. That is it. Anyway, Rhoda's here for 5 more quids. Bloody hell, mate. Thanks. Says, if you want a competent female character, watch last night's WTF Live, folks. We discussed Chloe Annetz Kachansky at length. We did. We did a celebration of sorts for a few moments about what a badass she truly is. She's the one who stands up to the epidemic virus. She's the one who risks her own ass, or well, not really. She uses someone else's arm, but she's the one who stands up to and finally defeats the epidemic virus. And at no point do I look at that and go, oh, it's woke, it's feminist crap, because she's written as a competent, badass woman who's also fucking hot too. So no complaints from anybody. What a surprise. A powerful and beautiful, intelligent, capable woman who kicks ass and looks good doing it. What? Find people who complain about that and I'll find you the dregs of society. Because really, that's all we're dealing with here. Thank you very much again, Rhoda, man. You're a fucking legend. You never know. We might make it to the full bar today. And if we do, it'll be time for some more gooning. You know it. And, of course, in the meantime, Sardok is here for £2 of legitimate currency and says... And well said. Very well said. Yeah. Paul Ashworth's here, gifting 5 for the Griff Force, 5 for the princesses. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. We do appreciate it over here at Tower of the Fans, or whatever they call it.
Let's go, Griff Force! Doing it for the princesses! Griff Force!
Yeah, thank you very much. What's that now? We're over 36. There's 41. We're getting up there. We're getting closer and closer to playing some Jackbox. Hey. And it's not been a bad day at all. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. I really do. This shit feeds my kids. So thanks. All right. Let's get on and talk about something else that's very near and dear to our hearts, or at least we'd like them to be. It's time to talk about Sydney Sweeney, ladies and gentlemen. Why the fuck not? Why the hell not? Ladies and gentlemen, and especially gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for, Sydney Sweeney has finally put the woke nonsense to bed after the ridiculous firestorm of BS over her American Eagle Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes campaign, where virtue signaling imbeciles tried to claim she was somehow promoting eugenics. Yes, really. Sweeney has finally spoken up, and not just felting a reporter, but actually answering about it. And it's a little bit glorious. Despite the usual spin attempting to paint her response as capitulation, the reality is crystal clear. She's taking the blue sky bashers and telling the wokeness warriors and everyone else trying to drag this joke of a controversy out for clicks to shut the hell up. This is a woman who doesn't need to apologize, justify, or tiptoe around the lunatics. She has just finally laid it out for them. Fans everywhere are looking and saying, hey, nice to know that she isn't going to put up with this rubbish. Because you never know, do you? They might just bend the knee one day. But no. And it's a relief to see someone call out the absurdity of these manufactured outrage campaigns once and for all. So let's break down exactly what she said and why it matters. All right. Hang on. There we go. And here we go. This one comes from Geeks and Gamers. Sydney Sweeney finally breaks silence on American Eagle jeans ad controversy. And it's way past due. Can't wait to hear about this one. Ah, look at that. How nice. It's always a good day when you get to report on Sydney Sweeney. Can't imagine what it is that people see in her. But there we go. She's great. Sydney Sweeney told that reporter from GQ that people would hear from her when she was ready to make a statement. And she just has. Fair enough. After months of simply rising above the noise surrounding her American Eagle jeans ad, Sydney Sweeney has released a statement about the controversy, speaking to People, I guess the magazine, about the reaction to the ad. In the interview, she says that motives and labels people gave to her and the ad aren't true. Yay! I mean, that's the most obvious thing ever, but good that she finally fucking said it. All right. She went on, of course, affirming that she's against hate and divisiveness. Very good. She says that she chose to speak out because her silence has only widened the divide, not closed it. Sweeney wants the new year to bring more focus on what connects us instead of what divides us. Would be a nice idea, wouldn't it? It's a nice idea anyway, especially if, we continue down the rabbit hole that we are going down, where everyone on one side in particular, and it's not this side, is getting more and more rabidly insane. It really does need to stop. It really, really does need to stop. Popbase says Sydney Sweeney tells People that she doesn't support the views that people connected her American Eagle campaign to. I was honestly surprised by the reaction. She says, and we can get the tweet up on the screen. Actually, let's just take a look at it ourselves, the old-fashioned way. I was honestly surprised by the reaction. I did it because I love the jeans and I love the brand. I don't support the views. People chose to connect to the campaign. Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm always trying to bring people together. I'm against hate and divisiveness. In the past, my stance has never been to respond to negative or positive press, but recently I've come to realize that my silence regarding this issue has only widened the divide, not closed it. So I hope that this new year brings more focus on what connects us instead of what divides us. Well said, that woman. And you know what I like the most about this is, regardless of what this retard down here thinks, Brett Keane, this isn't a capitulation. This is not bending the knee. She did not say that she is sorry because she did not do anything wrong. She has said that people dreamt this up and connected it to her, and it's not true. That's not an apology. That's not capitulation at all. That is the opposite. It's the politest possible way of telling you all, get in the sea if you are going to continue with this BS. It's true. Absolutely true. There's one or two reasons why everybody really likes Sydney Sweeney. There's two that you can see right now. But there are 3 and 4 reasons as well, like the fact that she's brassy and she stands up for herself. And that's fantastic. She is she's just in many ways exactly the kind of woman that people are looking for in this world to represent what women should be trying to be. You know, talented, beautiful, competent, and ballsy. Nothing wrong with that. Find me a man who don't like that. Ain't happening. Hell, even gay dudes like that. Anyway, there we go. Some are interpreting this as Sydney apologizing for the ad or even for the perception that she's a supporter of Trump, which she hasn't confirmed or denied. Oh, for sure she is. But it doesn't matter anyway. She never mentions that. She seems to be talking about claims that she was advocating for the genetic superiority of white people, something that many ascribe to the American Eagle ad, which used the fact that genes and genes are homonyms as a pun to comment on the quality of the American Eagle genes and Sydney Sweeney's physical beauty. Jokes like that get funnier and funnier the more you have to explain them. Bit of snark there. The point is that, once again, Sydney Sweeney is threading the needle expertly. Instead of making a political statement or an apology, she merely reiterates that she agreed to be in the American Eagle ad because she loves the jeans and she loves the brand. This is no different from what she said to the woman from GQ who questioned her about her ad. Her statement that she doesn't support the views that people chose to connect to the campaign refutes something neither she nor the ad said, but was attached to it by others. Exactly. She didn't apologize. She didn't back down. She just said, you guys are literally looking for a problem that doesn't exist. And you can keep going if you want, but you probably shouldn't. So let's just come together instead. That's it. That's all she said. You guys are wrong. Yet again. Because you're always wrong. Someone put here, blah, blah, blah. Woke idiots kept losing their minds when she didn't feed into the nonsense. They got worse, like always shaming people and calling them racists and Nazis because they don't agree with whatever the prevailing narrative probably is. Anyway, as it looks to most people, like most people understand this, as American Eagles, I want to see what the rest of that was. As American Eagle stock has gone up 136% in the months following the Sydney Sweeney ad. Wow. So this guy, Will, nice name, says, I think Sydney Sweeney making blah, blah, blah. She didn't feed to the nonsense. They got worse. Like always shaming people are calling them racists and Nazis because they don't agree with the nonsense. So she made a statement to diffuse the clowns of the country. That's what she did. Right. Exactly. That's what she did. Nothing beyond that. Someone else puts, here's the irony. I didn't know what American Eagle was. Likewise, pal. Sydney Sweeney didn't get me to know what American Eagle is. The haters got me to know and approve on both counts. Thanks, haters. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And as for Sydney Sweeney, she probably didn't have to make a statement, but perhaps she was tired of having disingenuous people calling her names, or maybe she really was worried that people thought bad things of her over a commercial for jeans. Some believe it was because of her recent movie Christie that did fairly poorly at the box office, but again, she hasn't apologized for anything and hasn't made any political statements. All she did was refute the idea that she believes some racists have better genes than others. Yeah, it's nonsense. She didn't even come up with that fucking commercial. And she does have great genes. You know why we can say that? Because she is freaking hotter than the sun's stolen car. And that is a perfectly valid reason to say she's got good genes, ain't she? Because, yeah, she has. She's pretty with great big tits. Deal with it. You know what I mean? I mean, would you say that, like, I don't know, Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt has good genes? Yeah, you would. Handsome men, physically fit, capable of of convincing women everywhere that they could show them a good time, you know? And that's the same thing. It's just human attraction. When did human attraction become something that you have to call Nazi? Fucking clown world, buddy. But there you go. Sydney Sweeney putting it to bed once and for all. And now on to the rest of us, I guess. Total stupidity. Total stupidity. And I'm glad to see that she's just, once again, not buying into it. She makes a statement. What does she do with it? She says, you're all nuts. You're all nuts, and you've made up a bunch of bollocks. Kindly stop it. Let's be better people than that. Fair enough. More people should do this. Long may it continue. So there you go. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to be here and supporting the stream. I do appreciate it very much. Rhoda, you freaking nutcase, with 5 more for the Grit Force, 5 more for the princesses. Thank you very much, buddy. We appreciate it.
Let's go, Grit Force! Doing it for the princesses!
So we are almost to the game of Jackbox of your dreams that is coming probably tomorrow at this rate. We've only got 4 to go. So thank you very much, Rhoda. Mr. Sardok for £2 says nothing to do with Sydney Sweeney's, I'm sure. Well, it's the thing, isn't it? It's just transparent hatred of a beautiful woman for being a beautiful woman. It was hilarious too, because the best part was the fact that this all came from Madam Web. Nobody knew who Sydney Sweeney was before that. Only people who watched Euphoria. And to be fair, there are worse ways to spend your time. It's not a good show, but there are moments, you know. But yeah, people looked at Sydney Sweeney in Madam Web, right? In that fucking abysmal movie. And they saw a woman who had been dressed up to look like she was basically fucking Amish, to look as frumpy as possible, constantly mega hyper clothed and covered up at all times. Like they I find it, hang on, where is it? Fucking craziness, man. Here it is. Hold on. Boom. They dressed her in this. They dressed her in that. And she still, people were like, you know, I reckon if you took off those glasses and undid a couple of those buttons, you know, there might be something in there. You know. You never know, you know, because could be a thing. And then lo and behold, what happens? Well, you know, eventually people did exactly that. And now we have this. And we're all very, 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 very grateful. Whoa, hello. We're all very, very grateful, aren't we, chaps? I'd say we're all very grateful. Plus, it's just nice to see a real woman. All the stuff about, you know, her tits and that aside. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought there. I was looking at her tits. You know, she is a cool lady, and she's fucking hot. So yeah. In a world where you are starved of this, of course, men all over the planet turned around and went, holy shit, we're allowing women to be women again? Awesome. You know, and there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. At all. It's just fucking nature, my friends. And, you know, women who are comfortable with themselves, they like her too. My wife likes her. She's cool. She's a cool lady. Hot and cool at the same time. Hard combination to match. But there we go. We are here. What are you guys saying in the chat? Oh, we got hey, J Viper's here. Welcome, buddy. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. This is like 90 movies where the ugly duckling was really a smoking hottie in glasses and a ponytail. Yeah, it's like she's all that. Or even an even more ridiculous example of that would be did you ever see Not Another Teen Movie? the girl in that, holy shit, she was smoking hot. She was like even hotter than Rachel Lee Cook in She's All That. when she she actually comes down the stairs, and I know it's played for laughs because she like falls down the stairs and smashes through the floor in a scene that will never not make me absolutely die laughing when I see it. But she is like, she's in that movie wandering around like, hang on, let's find a fucking picture of it. Why not? Yeah, there we go. Boom. Let's put it on screen. There she is. And you know, you just know. You don't, you just look at it, you're like, yeah, I'm not buying that she's ugly. You know? And then of course they actually do the scene where they take off the glasses and the ponytail. And you've got, well, hang on, let's find a fucking worthwhile picture of that as well if we can. It's an even more of a fucking absurd upgrade from what you saw in the original movie that they were poking fun at. There, bang, look at that. Fucking hell. Crazy hot. Crazy hot. And it's even a trope in that movie that they're taking the piss out of. Oh my God, you can't. They've got like the girl with two heads, like conjoined twins, two girls with attached at the head. And Chris Evans is like, oh man, yeah, I can make her prom queen. And then you've got like the albino hippie girl who has no pigment at all, sitting playing hippie glass. I've seen that movie way too many times. One of my favorite movies ever, I think. And they even took the name of the character from She's All That, which was Lainey Boggs, and made it more normal. So her name is Janie Briggs. And then, and then he's like, yeah, I can make any of these bitches prom queen. And then she shows up when she's got glasses and a ponytail. And he's like, no, I could never do it with her. She's got glasses and a ponytail and paint-covered overalls. It's too much, guys. She'll never be prom queen. It's just so fucking good, that movie, man. I love that shit. Plus, it had a pure fire fucking soundtrack. You're right, Rhoda. Awesome soundtrack. All those movies, man. Bring back teen movies. Me and my wife a couple of years ago went through like all the American Pie movies. Well, not like the really, really fucking fucked up ones like Band Camp and that with the horse cum bullets and oh God. But you know, we went through the core movies with the main cast, the first three, and then of course the fourth one, the reunion one, which was great as well. But I mean, man, American Pie 1 and 2, absolute fucking gloriousness. Road Trip, excellent fucking movie. Hell, I'll even take Dude, Where's My Car? Yeah, but there were so many of these fucking great movies. Hell, fucking Euro Trip has aged brilliantly. American Wedding, very funny movie. Very good movie. We need these. That's what we need, a comeback of those. And people will go berserk. They'll go fucking besides themselves. Like, what's that? You put tits and sperm and poop and butt jokes in a movie again? How dare you? And it'll be the most fucking popular movie in the world. It'll be so funny. Like, goddamn, we need the Farrelly brothers back. That's who we need. Them and the fucking American Pie guys. We need all of them to come back and just start making this stuff again because it was great. It was the best time. The best time. What was that movie where they gave the enemy frat a bunch of eclairs filled with the Bulldogs coom? Van Wilder? Was that Van Wilder, I think? Maybe that one. Yeah, with Ryan Reynolds. And then he did a bunch of those kinds of movies too. He did Waiting with the where they do the bat wing with their balls in the back kitchens of a place that's meant to be like a TGI's or something like that. Fucking good movie. Justin Long was in that movie too. Fucking hell, before he was famous. So many movies. I've seen all of them, man. We love them in the UK too, by the way. But you shouldn't be surprised, America. We invented the Carry On movies. We were doing that in the 70s. So there you go. Euro Trip with the impossible to pronounce safe word. Yeah. When they get to the sex dungeon. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was during the lockdown. Me and the wife did like all the teen movies, all of them, like all the American Pies, Road Trip, Euro Trip. We did. I don't know. We ever did Van Wilder. Actually, we could do that, but we did. We watched all those bloody movies. They were so good. So many great, fucking hilarious movies. I've got them all down there, I think. I've even got the ones like Bandcamp and Naked Mile and Beta House. Beta House was fucked up, man. Fucked up. That was the one, not Bandcamp. Beta House. Beta House was the one where they had the like Olympiad of warring college fraternities. Oh, it was so fucking hilarious. And it's a throwback, of course, as well to like the 80s teen movies as well, like Revenge of the Nerds and Porky's and stuff like that. Just need this stuff to come back badly. National Lampoon, we need them back. We need it all back. Laughing, we need to be able to laugh again, people. If they did a movie like that and they put Sydney Sweeney in it, they'd make all the fucking money in the universe if they marketed it just right. That would be it. That would be the funniest fucking thing. I'd go see it. Certainly. Just for fun. Animal Party. Yeah. Animal House. National Lampoon's Vacation. They did it. They did so many. And it's a shame that we don't get them anymore. They just went the way of the dinosaur. But if they came back, it would be the end of the woke. No question. But we won't get that. Because we're not allowed to have nice things. Just like with the Paramount, Netflix, Warner Brothers shit. Now that Netflix is going to get hold of Warner Brothers, all that little bit of hope we had that they might be taking control of CNN. Yeah, that's getting dusted. I got to do a bit about that, actually. So let's get into it and talk a little bit about that because it's fucking cringe. Yes, indeed. Hollywood and politics collide in ways that are both ridiculous and hilarious. It happens all the time. News has broken that Netflix has won the bid to buy Warner Brothers. And on the surface, it's all corporate synergy, this, and streaming dominance, that. But peel back a layer or two, and it's actually looking a little bit more like a political chess move than a business deal. You see, by keeping Warner Brothers away from the Ellisons, who are, of course, Trump's friends, lest we forget, Netflix may be blocking CNN from finally changing their relentless anti-conservative messaging, which would have limited their ability to churn out relentless lies and slander about the president. Suddenly, this entertainment acquisition feels less than like a mega deal and more like a strategic play in an ongoing culture and media war. And while the mainstream media slobbers all over mergers and potential box office hits, the real story is about controlling who gets to spread the narratives and who they are permitted to target. Nothing new there then. So we got this one. It's from That Park Place. Warner Brothers Discovery sale to Netflix may be about blocking CNN from Paramount Skydance. And it wouldn't be a surprise, to be fair, because Paramount Skydance are run by the Ellisons, who are pretty tight with Trump. So Netflix's first glance victory at the Warner Brothers Discovery auction is not just a colossal entertainment deal, it's also a supposed decisive defeat for the Ellison family's ambitions to take control of CNN. Ultimately, the Netflix acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery, not yet final and with major hurdles to go, may be a giant political battle over the future of entertainment. You can call this a conspiracy theory if you want, but we have been, right before when it comes to conspiracy theories. It turns out that a lot of conspiracy theories aren't, in fact, conspiracy theories at all.
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
It is, you see. Ultimately, the Netflix acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery may be a giant political battle. Today, they announced a definitive, well, it was not today, it was probably yesterday now, a definitive agreement for Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers TV and film, studios, and streaming business, including Warner Brothers Pictures, HBO, HBO Max, DC, and Warner Brothers. But they don't want the whole thing, which is weird because Paramount did want the whole company. It's weird. But it is a cash and stock deal, valuing the equity about $72 billion and the enterprise roughly $82.7 billion. Each WBD share will be bought for about $27.75 in a mix of cash and Netflix stock, 75 cents more than Paramount offered after numerous rounds of Paramount offering the highest bid and being denied. I wonder why they kept doing that. Could it be because then somebody who's friendly with Trump would be owning a network that makes it its entire fucking raison d'etre to attack the old orange man? Well, we don't take kindly to that. The transaction is expected to close after they spin off its Global Linear Networks division, soon to be a separate company called Discovery Global in 2026. Zaslav, you are fooking it up, my friend. But oh well. The structuring is crucial. Discovery Global is the unit that will house CNN and other legacy cable networks. Netflix is explicitly buying the studios and the streaming side, not the news and cable bundle. Shite. That's annoying. I was looking forward to seeing CNN have to stop insulting Trump. It would have been really funny too, because they would have had to actually do some reporting instead of just relentlessly attacking the president over and over and over again. But there you go. Until this week, conventional wisdom held that Paramount Skydance, controlled by David Ellison and backed by his father, Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison, had the inside track. Fresh off its own $8.4 billion deal to take over Paramount, the Ellison-led group was openly eyeing Warner Brothers as its next target, with reporting that a mostly cash offer in the low $20 per share range was being prepared. If successful, Paramount Skydance would have combined its existing portfolio with HBO, HBO Max, Warner Brothers Pictures, DC Studios, CNN, Discovery Channel, TNT Sports, and more. One of the most sweeping consolidations in modern media. But no, they're splitting CNN off into another company that can still go ahead and push left-wing propaganda day and night. How annoying. Oh well, I guess it is what it is. It's not like it mattered much what CNN did the last 5 years anyway. Instead, Netflix came over the top with nearly $28 per share bid focused on studios and streaming, beating out Paramount and a rival offer from Comcast. It was the first time a non-Paramount entity had placed the highest bid, and strangely, it was also the exact moment when Warner Brothers executives shut down the bidding process and accepted a winner. Curious, that isn't it? The timing is peculiar, as Charles Gasparino of the New York Post reports Paramount is still considering an appeal directly to shareholders with the claim that their leadership has essentially hoodwinked them. Interesting. Are we going to get some activist investors involved, maybe? What makes this outcome politically charged is just how deeply the Ellison bid had come tied to CNN's editorial future. In November, reporting by The Guardian revealed that senior White House officials under President Donald Trump had privately expressed a preference for Paramount Skydance to win the WBD auction. Well, is anyone really surprised? It would have got CNN off his freaking back. In at least one call, Larry Ellison allegedly discussed potential programming changes at CNN with a White House official, including the idea of axing several CNN hosts Trump is said to loathe, such as Aaron Burnett and Brianna Kayla, don't know who any of them are, and floating replacement names. Yeah, well, I don't know who any of them are. The only CNN person I know these days is that Caitlin Collins. Oh my God, what a horrible person she is. But there you go. A follow-up report from People summarized the same set of allegations. Ellison, as Paramount Skydance's largest shareholder, was said to have talked about two Trump-era officials about restructuring CNN and firing specific on their talent disliked by the president. You can say this is political bias and it's a power play and it's probably not that ethical, but who gives a shit? It's CNN. They're the worst fucking news company around. Well, maybe the second worst. There's still MSNBC, right? Whatever happened to them again? I thought they were getting sold. Don't know what happened. Would have been funny if Elon ended up with them, though. But there you go. It didn't work out. But at the end of the day, who really cares? Barry Weiss can continue to do whatever the bloody hell she likes. But there you go. At the same time, business press coverage highlighted how a successful Paramount WBD merger would drop CNN straight into the Ellison's growing empire alongside CBS News and other major news brands. Fast Company described how if Skydance landed WBD, it would add CNN, DC Studios, HBO Max, Discovery, TNT, and more to a group already controlling Paramount, CBS, and CBS News. That is it. So there you go. It's a shame, though, but it's not over yet because they may still be able to appeal to the shareholders. Because at the end of the day, the shareholders would probably stand to make just as much, if not more, if the whole company were sold. But I don't know, because global linear networks splitting off and becoming something else would presumably then become its own stock somewhere separate and distinct from the rest of the Warner deal. And that is not necessarily in the best interests of the investors. I could be wrong about this, but that's how it looks to me. But I am, of course, a layperson when it comes to that kind of thing. The structure of the Netflix deal locks in the global linear network split. Under the announced terms, Netflix acquisition will not include CNN or other linear cable networks. Instead, those businesses will be spun off into Discovery Global, a separate company, before the Netflix transaction closes. On its face, it looks like a standard financial engineering deal to isolate declining cable assets from a high-growth streaming and IP powerhouse, but the political context makes it hard to ignore another read. Splitting off CNN and then selling everything except CNN to Netflix is the cleanest way to ensure the Ellisons cannot suddenly end up with one of the world's most influential newsrooms as a side effect of a mega merger. And so there you go. That's how it looks. It's a shame that they've decided that they are going to try and go ahead with this deal, but we'll see if Paramount might be able to make a complaint about it, which they will, apparently, making it clear that European regulators were more worried about the Ellisons rolling up WBD, including CNN, than about Netflix buying the studio and streaming assets. There's no smoking document in public saying we chose Netflix to stop the Ellisons getting CNN. Officially, the board is framing the deal in close corporate terms. Netflix offered more cash, cleaner financing, and a structure that maximizes value while limiting antitrust risk by carving off linear networks. But if you line up the facts, it's hard not to see the CNN question as a major subplot. The White House under Trump privately favored a Paramount Skydance deal. The Ellison family is actively building a right-leaning media empire. European officials and media diversity advocates signaled worries about exactly that kind of concentration if Paramount did take over WBD. And WBD had already advised a split structure that made CNN a separate, freestanding company far easier to scrutinize and harder to quietly tuck into a broader Ellison-dominated conglomerate. So in other words, they want to be able to still use CNN to relentlessly go after Trump, conservatives, MAGA, and anyone else associated with those things. It's transparent. It seems like it to me anyway. I don't know if it seems like it to you, but I think it's pretty shady and really quite pathetic at the end of the day. But that's it. I mean, you can't stop these things unless you're in the position to. So the only people now who might be able to are Paramount themselves. I hope they will. This has become quite an interesting story, and we'll hope to see it continue to develop further and further into a total shit show for everybody involved, and hopefully wrestle CNN away from globalists everywhere. But that's what I think about that. Anyway, there you go, guys. That is it, really. I'm going to have to start wrapping up. I wanted to get to the John Cena thing and the Lord of the Rings stuff too, but we've been a little bit felted for time by the war between the land and the sea. So I'm going to have to probably leave them for a little while and get off and go on and do my other things, because that's what I have got to do. So much work and a kid that needs to go to school in the morning. So we're going to have to start thinking about wrapping it up, though. I do appreciate everybody who's been here for the duration with the super chats and the members. Excuse me, you guys absolutely rock. It's been very nice for our Monday. No jackboxing, not today, buddy. The bar's not full, but we will do it tomorrow after HyperDrive Time, and we'll see it through that way. But for now, no, we'll begin to wrap up now. But that's it. Yeah, we got Must Sell Network before Christmas. That was it. I remember now. I love that. J Viper says, yep, they're splitting off to another company. Exactly. Smeghead says, rather watch movies on PC than theater. Last movie you saw at cinema was Prometheus. Jesus. The last movie I saw in a theater. Wow. What the hell was the last thing I saw in a theater? Don't know. I genuinely don't know. What did I go to see in the theater? Deadpool and Wolverine? Maybe. I think so. I think that was it. Was that the last thing I saw in a theater? Really? Fucking hell. Amazing. That was a year ago. Year and a half? Really? I feel like I've been to the cinema since then. I feel like I've definitely been to the cinema since then. Don't know what I saw though. Can't have been anything that important then. Oh, Superman. Yeah. Of course it was Superman. Of course. Yeah. Not that important. But there you go, guys. I'm getting really tired and I need to get on and do my other work. Before I go, I thought I would give you a little treat. In as much as I'm going to show you a few ladies. Not animated, not video, but a little preview of what we like to call diversity here at Will of the Fans. Definitely some diversity going on here. Indeedy. I'm just going to get ready for you guys. Yeah, that one will do. And then we've got one more and another one and another one. And I think we'll be good there. Well, one last one won't hurt as well. Fuck it. For your viewing pleasure, the cast of what will be the next reward video for you lovely people, what with it being Christmas and all. So here we are. We have this lovely looking lady right here representing your Hispanics. And yes, she seems very friendly. Can't wait to see what she does when the camera starts moving. We'll be following her up. We're going all diverse with the next one. We've got our Japanese lady right here. She's seems very warm and friendly. Certainly, so that will be nice. Then, I thought I'd represent my my home turf here. So we've got our Filipino. And yeah, that's no bad thing either. And if that's too much Asia for you, well, we can go traditional. There's your blonde. She certainly looks very friendly, very nice, very warm and welcoming. I'm sure some of you would like to spend Christmas with her. Certainly. And if you're not into blondes, there's this lady as well. She's very friendly. Very, very friendly. Lots of fireplaces here, lots of them. And then, of course, if that's not enough, we also have brought a redhead for you as well. So there we go. There's plenty of nice ladies to sit around the Christmas tree. So there we go. We'll be getting that off the screen right now. And yeah, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen, but mostly gentlemen, and nothing in between. And we'll certainly be getting to know them a little better in the weeks running up to Christmas, as soon as I have a bit of time. And there we go. God bless AI. St. Hugo, you mad lad, gifting another membership for the fans and for the princesses. Thank you very much.
Let's go, Griff Force! Doing it for the princesses!
And that would be 47 in a row. 3 to go. I'm sure we'll get them tomorrow. No big deal. Thank you very much, guys. You absolute legend, St. Hugo. You are a fucking legend. And thank you, by the way, for the shit that you sent me in Discord DMs. I'll take a look at some of that. All AI stuff. No doubt will help with what I'm doing. And there you go. Look forward to seeing some ladies around their Christmas tree, who I only had to invent because the lyrics of the song were about a hot Christmas tree. And I thought, well, one more won't hurt. There we go. So yeah, I'm off now to is that thumping? No, it's me. I keep thumping my table today. I don't know. Sorry. But there we go. No, that will be the end of that. And you need to invest in firewood. Yeah, not a bad thing. I don't. It's tropical here. I need to invest in aircon that doesn't drip all the time. I have to clean that bastard. Anyway, that's it. That's HyperDrive time, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm off now to work on some videos and get ready for school in the morning. The school run is back. Not to mention, I'm going to sit and watch the J Awards because I didn't get to see it live. So I'll be having fun with that. Heard it was very good. I know J Vibe put a lot of work into it, so I'm looking forward to that. And we'll all be having a Merry Christmas before long. But I do need to get my shit together and get that video made before there's no time left. So I look forward to that. And thank you very much to everybody who donated to the show today. Majors Guild, Rhoda, Hugo, Garrett Griffin with the 10 bomb at one point there. Thank you very much indeed. Swedish Christian as well. Smash JT, Sardok multiple times, Rhoda again, Sardok again, Paul Thomas Ashworth, Sardok, Hugo again and again. You guys are fucking legends. I do appreciate it. It really does make a big difference to my ability to feed my family, frankly. So I really do appreciate it. I'll leave you with a wildly out-of-date credit sequence that seriously needs updating, and I'll be back tomorrow with the boys for WTF Live and probably some Jackbox. So hope you can make it for that stream. And till then, take care, spike your hair, fuck Nintendo, fuck Disney, fuck everybody who doesn't like us. Question everything, respect the fans, check out the Discord. The link is below. Hope to see you there. If you're watching on X, come join us on YouTube next time. Subscribe as well. And, well, that's all I got to say about that. See you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.